I swear this thing's just fucking with me. Alright, I'm gonna go post on the Facebook group, let y'all know I'm coming in here. I don't know why I'm talking. There's nobody in here. Oh, right, because I can't cut down the videos and they will just appear. It is very early. Oh no, let's get the podcast set up. Oh, good afternoon. Hey, you're in here before I even posted. Hi, Beth. Alright, let's pull up the pod. What do you mean I'm offline? Ain't no way. Every app in America not working right now. That would suck. Oh, okay. Home. Search. Things are popping up. Alright, cool. Nice. Solid. How are you doing, Beth? What time is it over there? See, I'm glad I didn't put the episode in the group because okay, well, you're a bit ahead of me. I keep putting in like one episode behind where I actually am. We're on 1.6 currently. So, Echo, play Spotify.
Okay, I'm having trouble getting that right now. Please try again.
Better not be. Echo, play Spotify. Echo, play Spotify. I swear to God. I will. Oh, God. Oh, there's comments now.
Here's Spotify. I'm having trouble getting that right now. Please try again.
Listen here, you dumb bitch. Not you, Beth. 15:15. Okay. Oh, right. 3:15. Good. Just doing some university work. Ooh. No, Amazon servers. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just play it on my phone and you can tell me how terrible the quality is or not. Also, there's comments on Spotify now, and Kayla a week ago said, finally doing my re-listen since Cat passed. I'm not doing okay, and we're only 6 episodes in. Same. Alright, so. Ooh. Alright. Can you hear it, Beth? Does it sound okay? I guess
Have you ever wished that your world had more magic?
Or that your favorite character had survived?
How about a full-length spin-off of your favorite childhood series?
Then do we have a podcast for you?
Hello,
Beth,
everyone.
can you hear it okay?
I'm Claire.
And I'm Kat.
And this is Firewhisky and Honey.
Ooh, I could do
podcast about your favorite
Bluetooth connect with
novel-length
Echo.
fiction.
But can you hear it right now or no?
Each episode
Okay, I'll
is
just leave
a
it then.
chapter of this story.
I
Which
didn't
is
say
rated
anything.
explicit for language and adult situations.
That's the first time she says situations.
We don't judge.
Oh.
Without further ado, here's our recap of last week's chapter of The
Debt
Debt
of Time. Oh, oops.
Hey, Kat, what's happened so far?
Hermione wanted to break and enter into the Ministry of Magic. So
Okay, we already did that part.
yeah,
So
so
fast
they
forward.
did.
Sirius is back.
And then Sirius is back, and people are like, "What the heck, man?" And then one of the twins got his ear cut off, and then yeah. I just listened to this morning. I should know this.
Oh, she did listen to an episode.
Do you realize that there's another episode between what you just listened to and what we're about to record, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I forgot that.
It's okay. So do you remember
When was
Sirius and
this?
Harry had their reunion?
Yeah.
Yes. And then what happened after that?
Ooh, you can hear I'm like nasally. I must have been sick.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, there was a wedding.
It was October of 2019, so COVID has just started in China and nobody knows about it.
Bill.
Yes. in the movie where the Ministry, like, the guy, he died, and then the Death Eaters came.
Yes. So, what happened to our wonderful trio plus Sirius?
They, what's it called? Apparated?
Yep.
Somewhere.
Grimold Place, Sirius Black's childhood home.
Oh yeah, that's the one with the tree wallpaper of his family. Yeah.
The tree wallpaper.
Yep.
I like that. That's what you remembered.
The last thing that happened at the end of the chapter was Sirius and Harry are kind of like hanging out in Sirius's room. It's clear that Snape went through there. Sirius gives Harry a photo of his parents, and then as they're about to walk downstairs, one of the trio notices R.A.B. on the plaque on Sirius's brother's door for Regulus Arcturus Black.
Easy for me to say.
Who was Sirius's little brother who joined the Death Eaters. And they tell Sirius that obviously Regulus tried to defect because he, took the locket and replaced it with a fake one with a note that said, by the time you read this, I'll probably be dead, but I hope my actions help bring your death about faster. So now they're looking for the real locket, and Sirius is not super thrilled at the idea that he doesn't believe that his brother was a turncoat and turned to the light. So,
oh my gosh, you can really hear the congestion.
He tells
Good
Hermione
lord.
that his mom had essentially just sent him a letter saying, "Hey, your brother and your dad are dead. Sucks to suck. Bye, nerd." And Sirius got super drunk with his, at the time, girlfriend while she made up wonderful fairy tales about how his family was actually good people.
Okay.
Yeah. So, now let's head into Chapter 6. No Repeating History. August 2nd, 1997.
Why do I keep coloring on the right side? Knowing full well I'm about to do this side and get ink all over my hand.
Downstairs for the locket. In reality, he went in search of a hidden bottle of Firewhisky and Remus's old stash of chocolate bars, located in a locked tin box beneath the kitchen sink inside of a cauldron labeled broken, possibly cursed. Don't touch. Oh, you know you would do that.
So then you touch it anyway. Oh my god.
I love
It's not
her.
actually
But she was
cursed.
so
He just wanted
pretty.
to hide his chocolate.
Oh, okay. So it's like one of those like keep out signs, but it's really just okay.
It's like the parents who hide their candy in the freezer inside of the Brussels sprouts bag.
Oh, okay.
Idiot. Sirius had muttered.
Oh, I thought that was me calling her. I was like, damn, that was me.
Rules that fly, kids. Reaching inside for the wrapped sweets in triumph. After several hours of avoiding the upstairs bedrooms, and once the alcohol had been
Oof,
consumed,
I need to replace
with
this
chocolate
marker.
bars in hand, Sirius made his way to join the cause, stopping on the
I'm just
landing
gonna
nearest
let that
Regulus's
sit for a
room.
bit.
Did you find the locket yet? Not yet, but I have an idea, Harry said, closing the door behind him, just as Hermione and Ron each appeared out of their old rooms. Harry moved past Sirius with a determined look, descending the stairs two at a time. Creature nicked loads of things from us. He had a whole stash of stuff in his cupboard in the kitchen. Come on. Do you
Whole
remember
stash
that
of
from,
stuff. That
Order of
was-
Phoenix? I can't remember if they showed that in the movies.
I don't think they did.
Yeah,
did
so while
not.
they were cleaning out Grimold Place, Creature was nicking things that they were trying to throw
I
away
gotta
like
say
family
nick,
heirlooms and
even
hiding
though I'm
them
very
in
much
his little
not British.
hovel.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing.
Oh, that also means then, of course, the books glossed over the fact that one of the things they found while sifting through all of
Books.
the family
Movies,
heirlooms
class.
was a locket.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay then.
Yeah, no, they literally mention the Horcrux in book 5, but, whatever. Fuck the movies.
Actually, fuck the entire series now.
They made so much noise
Fucking
that they woke
JKR.
Wahlberg's portrait as they passed through the hall.
Test Levi.
Mudbloods! Scum! Sirius flicked his wand at his mother's likeness, shutting the curtains, uttering a stream of profanity quietly under his breath, and then closed the kitchen door behind himself. Harry ran the length of the room, skidding to a halt at the door to Creature's cupboard and wrenched it open. Kneeling down beside him, Sirius glanced inside the filthy cupboard. There was a nest of dirty old blankets the house elf had once
Blech.
slept in, but they were no longer glittering with the trinkets creature had gleaned. The only thing of worth left behind was an old copy of Nature's Nobility, a Wizarding Genealogy. Damn! Harry exclaimed and pulled out the old book. Nothing here but this old book and a bunch of rubbish. He sighed as he handed over the volume to Sirius, who dusted off the cover. What is it? Hermione asked, as Harry and Ron continued to dig through Creature's cupboard. Old book on pureblood genealogy, Sirius answered, running his finger along the spine. My brother and I had to have the thing memorized before we entered Hogwarts. Make sure we didn't mingle with impure blood. He rolled his eyes and opened the book, flipping the page in disgust as he stood and walked around this room. It's magically updated, so when a new child is born or someone dies, the parchment changes. A lot like the tapestry upstairs. You think my family's in there? Harry wondered aloud, just as Sirius landed on the page where fine ink script was written across the top. Potter.
Why did I say that
Sirius
weird?
glanced over the page
Potter.
anxiously, running his thumb over the names he recognized so well. One in particular stood out, and he touched the name affectionately with one finger before reaching up and tugging the silver chain around his neck. Sirius, do you think my family's in that book? Harry asked again. Sirius looked up from the pages and let go of the chain. Sorry, got lost for a bit. He cleared his throat and met Harry's gaze over the top of the book, while his wand, which was screened by the large pages, touched the parchment. Using a non-verbal vanishing spell, the Potter page disappeared from the book altogether. Potters used to be in the book, he explained, but when I ran off, my mother tore the page out,
Sneaky little
probably
fuck.
burnt it. He shrugged his shoulders and looked away, not enjoying the fact he needed to lie to his godson.
Why?
You'll find out.
I'll let you ponder that. Ron sighed. There's nothing else in here, Harry. Just a few dead rats.
Blech.
It's not over yet, Harry said, and he raised
Not
his
over.
voice and
It's
called,
still not over.
Creature! Nothing happened.
I'm actually surprised
Why
she
is he
didn't say
calling
that.
for Creature?
She was always quoting the Notebook.
I don't know, because he's stealing stuff.
He's
Oh,
stealing
because
stuff.
Creature was around back then and he should know more then? Or tell him the truth because Creature gives no F's? I don't know.
It's actually not a bad guess.
Harry technically became Creature's master upon Sirius's death, because Harry was Sirius's heir in his will. So, technically, Creature should have answered him. However, because Sirius is now back from the dead, his will is now negated, which means Creature only answers to the Black family line.
Okay then.
I like how I say that so
Why isn't he
specifically.
coming? Hermione inquired. Maybe he finally died, Sirius muttered under his breath as he closed the large book, handing it over to Hermione. Suddenly, his own words reached his head, and he grinned at the idea of the old traitorous elf dead somewhere. Too bad he didn't leave a cake behind that we could celebrate with. Hermione glared at him. Sirius! He groaned. Not this again. He thought he was done dealing with her elf rights bullshit. Wait, what if you being alive makes your will invalid? What if he knows? Harry asked, crawling back out of the
Oops,
cupboard
I
and taking
definitely-
off his trousers. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to.
He's saying the exact same thing.
Sirius raised a brow. You mean I'm still in charge of the little monster? Call him and see, Harry suggested. Bloody hell, Sirius sighed. Creature!
Is that a monkey with a hat? Yes, it is. Wallpaper is cool to
Sirius
see
had
at the Warner
so
Brothers
hoped would
studio at
not appear,
CH.
did, popping out of nowhere in front of the cold and empty fireplace.
Hey,
Tiny,
yeah.
half-human-sized, his pale skin hanging off him in folds, and with white hair
That's not too much
sprouting
info
copiously
for the
from
chat.
his
You're good.
bat-like ears.
Thank you for the purple love.
Are you ready, Cat?
I would probably love it, but I have told my husband I will not get another hobby.
Okay.
Master has returned.
Oh
Creature croaked
god,
in
that's such a
his
bad
loud
voice.
peering
Oh.
up at Sirius with a look of disdain.
Oh no.
Oh, my poor mistress will be so disappointed to know that the ungrateful swine lives to bring further ruin to the noble and most ancient house of Black. My poor mistress will be so disappointed with Creature for failing to get rid of the blemish on her great and noble house. You did just fine, you little piece of shit. Sirius reacted immediately and kicked the rotten little monster, punting him forward a good 3 feet.
Jesus. Is that a football?
Quick pause. There was a Tumblr thing a while back, and somebody said that as a kid, they only knew punting as like kicking something. So, in Order of the Phoenix, again, I don't think they show this in the movie. But in the book, Fred and George created a portable swamp.
I think we still technically have the P.O. box. I need to cancel it because it's fucking expensive and Patreon is running low, but...
Raft. And when you use a stick to push a raft forward by touching the bottom, it's called punting. And so, in the book, it said that Filch punted the children across the swamp, and somebody who
I forgot about that.
thought that Filch was kicking the kids over the swamp.
It's one of my favorite pictures. And Filch just
Well, it's actually true because, like, I have learned that apparently a lot of the language in that book, it's like, that doesn't mean the same thing in America that it means over there, apparently. Like, apparently in the books, and I'm saying apparently a lot, I feel like that little red-haired kid. Anyways,
she almost said it again.
Teenager says the word like. Okay, so she writes that Harry groped a lot, and that I'm like, no. No.
No, thank you.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, we did get, I don't want to call it a British correspondent because I don't want to start the powder list thing. We will, maybe she'll come up with her own name. I'm not sure. But we do have somebody who is from Leeds, towards the north of England. And her name is Katie.
Oh, Katie.
She will be helping us with British terminology and British slang and British pronunciations.
Cool.
Thanks, Katie.
I don't think we used Katie very much.
Yay.
Alright.
It's funny, at this point in the pod, we were still expecting to get maybe like 150 listeners. I think we're getting excited when we got like 100 downloads an episode, and now we're...
Serious?
I haven't released anything in years, and we're still getting 2,000 a week. Bananas.
He has a point, Hermione, Ron noted. Clearly no love lost between himself and the elf. Creature's the
This
reason
fucking monkey
Sirius
face is gonna
died.
piss me off.
Do you know why that is?
I was just about to ask why that is, but apparently you're not going to tell me, are you?
No, we're just making his face darker.
So, Order of the Phoenix. I know this part happened in the movies. They break into the headmaster's office, which now belongs, or not the headmaster's office, Dolores Umbridge's office, because she's the only one with a flu connection. And this is when Harry has had the vision that Sirius is tied up in the Department of Mysteries. He calls Grimmauld Place to try and talk to Sirius to see if it's real or if it's something that Voldemort had planted. Well, because Creature responds to the House of Black, Bellatrix Lestrange was able to tell Creature what the plan was and said, if, Harry calls to see if Sirius is here, lie and say that Sirius isn't. And so they called. Creature was waiting at the fireplace. Creature said he's not here, when in fact he was, which is why Harry believed the vision of Sirius in the Department of Mysteries was in fact true, and that's why he, Hermione, Ron, Ginny, Neville, and Luna all flew out to...
I'm mad impressed with how much I remembered.
And went on the hunt for Sirius, which turns out
I haven't
Sirius
seen
wasn't
the
actually there,
movies
and that's
and-
why Sirius eventually died.
I haven't read the books in
Okay, then.
ages. I do own them from pre-JKR being a TERF, so part of me wants to read them again. Just my kid really wants to get into audiobooks, and there's not a lot of
Tried to spit it out quickly
long
so we
form
didn't get
ones
off.
that don't make me want to blow my brains out. I can only
Alright,
listen
so,
to "Don't Take Your
Creature
Dragon to
has
Dinner"
been
so many
hunted,
times.
which is the reason Sirius is dead. I know that, Hermione snapped at him. Sirius narrowed his gray
Oh,
eyes
hey, I do have
and made me feel a
unanswered
little
TikTok
less
DMs. I will go
consideration
check
for
them
that
out. I'm
thing.
sorry, Tyler.
Out, both of you. Hermione pointed at Sirius and Ron. Harry and I will deal with Creature. She looked incredibly upset, and not just because of how the elf had been treated. Sirius opened his mouth to protest, but she stepped into his personal space and narrowed her eyes at him stubbornly. As far as I am concerned, Creature is a product of his environment. You treated Creature poorly, so Creature turned on you. You're both to blame. Right now, I'm having a hard time dealing with either of you when there are more important things to be concerned about. Clenching his teeth angrily, he mentally reminded himself that she might not always feel that way. He turned his anger on Creature, glaring down at him with pure hatred. You stay in this room and answer every one of their questions. Got it? You are not allowed to leave this fucking room unless they tell you to.
Oh my god, it's so... It's a fucking 10-minute story. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to listen to it. It's so bad.
Creature lives to serve
The
noble house of black. Sirius spent a moment trying actively to avoid eating the elf again.
There's only 2 of you in here, but I'll let y'all pick what we do next.
Using her to ground himself before storming out of the kitchen.
Alright, so here's some of the ones I've done already.
Hermione sighed in relief.
It's a hot dog.
Harry immediately
I was really proud of
began
this one.
interrogating the elf. 2 years ago, there was a big gold locket in the drawing room upstairs.
That one was
You threw it
fun
out.
with
Did you steal it
layers.
back? There was a brief silence
this one,
during
I was
which
so proud
Creature
of this
straightened up to look Harry full in the face. Yes.
Oh yeah. No, it's 10
Where
minutes.
is it
I have
now?
listened to it at
Came Harry's
least...
jubilant query,
Honestly, it's
while
probably only been
Hermione
5
looked on,
times. It's a
gleeful.
cute story, and I'm glad my
Creature
son likes
closed his
listening to
eyes as though he
books,
could not
but...
bear to see the reactions to his next
Actually, the
word.
book he wants to listen to is Dungeon
God.
Crawler Carl.
Come on, echoed Harry. with
And
what do you mean it's
I'm
gone?
like, you can't
The elf
listen to that
shivered
one,
and
sweetheart.
swayed.
Um,
Creature,
That
said
one did
Harry
turn out
fiercely,
really good.
I order you, Mundungus
I really
Fletcher.
liked the giraffe.
The elf croaked, his eyes still tight shut.
Well, clearly.
Mundungus Fletcher stole it all. Miss Bella and Miss Sissy's pictures, my mistress's gloves, the Order of Merlin, the goblets with the family crest,
Alright, I need to
and...
find...
Creature gulped for air, his hollow chest rising and falling rapidly.
Finding random pieces
And
of
then his
paper on the
eyes
ground
opened
that
and he had
I don't care about
a
to
curdling
use as
scream.
backers.
And the locket, Master Regulus's. Creature did wrong. Creature failed in his orders. As Creature lunged
Yes, I will
lunged
do
for the
Princess
poker stand at the
Crocodile.
grate, Harry launched himself at the elf, flattening him. Hermione's scream mingled with Creature's.
No, there's a little bit of brown on there, but that's
Both
okay.
of them. Creature, I
We'll just
order
assume
you to
she's a
stay
dirty, dirty
still.
girl, because, you know,
Creature continued.
swamp
Harry,
baby.
make him stop! Hermione cried as she watched the old elf continue to try and punish himself despite Harry's attempts to prevent him. I'm trying! Harry shouted. Hermione shrieked, Creature, stop! Creature stopped. What the hell? Harry's jaw dropped in shock. Hermione knelt beside the elf, worried that he had done permanent damage. Creature, are you all right? Yes, mistress. Creature obeys mistress, Creature said bitterly, narrowing his large eyes. Hermione's own eyes widened at the words, and she swallowed hard as the elf
The
continued
fuck?
to speak. Even if mistress is a filthy mudblood brought into the noble house of black by the ungrateful blood traitor. Harry gaped. Wait, Creature, you obey Hermione?
Oh, right.
She lives to serve the noble house of
The
black.
soul. Because I was like, is that
Harry,
because she's
Go
a
tell Sirius that
Potter?
Mundungus
No,
took
because
the
she's not a
locket,
Potter yet.
Hermione requested,
It's because of
panic
the
rising in her chest.
soul bond.
But
God,
she
why
turned
are
fierce
all
look
of
on
these
him.
drying
Harry,
out?
go. I'll deal with
They're so
Creature,
expensive, I don't want to
please.
replace them yet.
Confused yet?
Yeah, because he just said that he serves the noble house of black, and Hermione is not in that.
Oh, that's so terrible.
But apparently, in this, she might be. So that's just like cray cray.
Cray.
Do you have any theories?
I have a Toy Story theory about where Andy's dad is, but not.
So random. Dude, these are the fancy TikTok markers. These are the oh-hoo-hoos.
Eyeing Creature once
They're
again before walking
alcohol,
out the
so I
door.
don't know if dipping in
Hermione
alcohol would help.
promptly turned her
Hey, I'm
attention
doing
back
this.
to the
Would you
elf
guys
in front of her.
Google that for me? Yeah, right,
Creature,
soul bond. And yes,
why did you
she
call
went
me
running through
mistress?
puddles.
Why did you obey me?
Somebody Google how to get
Glared at
alcohol
her,
markers to
shaking.
color.
Creature can see the bond with his own eyes. Creature sees the mud-blood mistress is tied to his blood-traitor master. Oh, my poor mistress, he wailed. To see what's become of her beloved house, mistress would never forgive Creature.
Oh, twat waffle.
See the bond? You see the bond between Sirius and me, she asked him. That doesn't make any sense, Creature. Sirius and I are not married. I am not your mistress.
Soul bond,
sees
bitches!
the magic. He looked at her as though examining her for something. Clearly disgusted by whatever it was he saw, Creature grimaced and he looked away. Marriage makes no difference. Magic was used to make the bond. The mistress has tied herself to the noble house of Black with her filthy blood.
Wait, what?
Do you remember
Appropriate
when
liquid.
Sirius was
Sorry
sitting
about the
in
noise.
veil and Remus looked at Hermione and he said something?
Yeah.
He asked, Hermione, did you just marry Sirius? Because that looked like the bond that Tonks and I had at our wedding.
No, I hope that doesn't try weird.
So, didn't get married, but she used the life debt ritual. Life debt ritual is you tie somebody to you. Are you scooping what I'm pooping?
Yeah.
God, have I even sang that for this long? Ooh, rubbing alcohol. Ooh, I have alcohol.
That's a great phrase, isn't it?
Nice scooping what you poop. Look at
Sure, why not?
hell yeah.
Fight me. Hermione swallowed again, her heart racing. Creature, you will speak of this to no one. Do you understand me? She looked down at the elf, feeling wretched for giving him orders and watching as he bowed before her. Creature lives to serve the noble house of Black.
I don't know why that makes me
Did
giggle.
you see Mundungus locket? She asked, getting him back on topic. Creature saw him, the elf gasped, tears pouring over his snout. Creature saw him coming out of Creature's cupboard with his hands full of Creature's treasures. Creature told the sneak thief to stop, but Mundungus Fletcher laughed and ran. You called the locket Master Regulus's. Why? Where did it come from? And what did Regulus have to do with it? Creature, sit up and tell me everything you know about that locket and everything Regulus
I like how
had
she's
to do
all,
with it.
don't give them orders. And then she's like, oh, wait, this one listens?
Quick
Fuck
chapter
yeah.
break. How you feeling?
I am confused a little bit. I am intrigued, and I know that this is fan fiction, so I know that a lot of this is her imagination, but I'm kind of having trouble figuring out what is and what isn't. So that's really good.
You mean what is and what isn't canon?
Yes.
Or canon?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Okay, can we just take a comment? Or take a moment. How well written is this?
Oh god, it's so good. Like, I'm jealous. Like, I cannot write this good.
I cannot write this good.
Unfreaking believable. Anyway, the wizards all sat in the upstairs drawing room, waiting for Hermione. When Harry entered, Sirius raised a questioning brow at his godson, who shook his head, looking confused, and muttered something under his breath about Hermione and her bloody elves. Sirius could tell that Harry was hiding something, but as he himself had vanished an entire family tree out of an ancient book just to keep it away from prying eyes, he did not feel like he had a leg to stand on in probing for Harry's secrets. Shortly after, Hermione entered the room, looking pale. "What's happened?" Harry asked quickly. Hermione's gaze fell on Sirius. "What'd the elf say?" he asked. Don't say it!" Ron shouted, and the rest of them rolled their eyes. "You know who asked Regulus to borrow Creature years ago. He took him to the cave where he was keeping the locket. He made Creature drink the potion that Dumbledore took." She glanced back at Harry. "You know who used Creature to put the security measures around the locket. Then he left him there to die, but Regulus had ordered Creature to always return to him, so he did."
Dun,
She
dun,
moved
dun.
to the sofa and sat down next to Sirius, reaching for his hand. Creature told Regulus what he'd done, and Regulus figured out you-know-who had made at least one Horcrux. He had Creature take him back to the cave to retrieve it. He drank the potion himself and switched the locket, gave the Horcrux to Creature, and told him to destroy it. "Regulus drank the potion?" Harry asked quietly, and Hermione nodded. "The Inferi. Do you know what Inferi are?"
No.
Do you remember the zombies in the lake?
What zombies?
When Harry goes to the cave with Dumbledore and Dumbledore has to drink that potion that makes him, like, super loopy and see bad things and, like, cry. And then Harry goes to try and give him water and he can't cast it, so he has to go scoop it out of the lake. And when he goes to scoop it, a bunch of, like, white bodies start grabbing at him.
I remember everything but the white bodies.
Okay. Yeah, so there's, they're called Infuri in Harry Potter, but they're essentially zombies. They're reanimated corpses, and you can use them as soldiers. Super illegal, shocking. You know, Voldemort did it. But the whole idea behind the protection against the locket was that, one, you have to drink this horrible, awful potion.
I did not
that
see what
makes
you guys
see
said.
all of your worst enemies.
Blend with the working
your
marker for 10 to 15
memories.
seconds. Claire's just dipping and drawing.
And then you won't be able to cast the water to rinse it out of your mouth, so you have to
Using
go to the lake
tweezers
to
at
get
a few
the water.
drops.
And when you go to the lake,
Place the nib
then
with
the
the marker
Infuri
sit
dries
horizontal
water
for
and you
about
die.
24 hours. Okay. Love you
Wow.
guys.
Wow.
You're all the best. What I'm going to do
I don't know
is
what the
do
word
this.
is, but it's something.
Voldemort was a bad dude. Like a
Yeah, he
legitimate bad
was.
dude.
Oop, wrong one.
Sirius saw Hermione nod just before turning his focus down at both of her hands wrapped around one of his. Her words
You are giving
ran
advice.
over and over in his mind, and he turned his attention to his other
Great
hand,
advice.
holding a glass of Firewhisky.
We're going to let that chill
Creature
sideways.
said he went beneath the water. He could hear the tremble in her voice, and a part of him hated the pity he felt coming off of her. The rest of him wanted to bathe in her comfort. Okay,
Really
also,
scared
I
it's
know
gonna
I
drop
mentioned a
all the way.
couple
Okay,
episodes
okay.
that it's like kind of weird that Sirius seems to be flirting with Hermione, but in this chapter, I feel like it sort of explains it. They have a bond. She pulls him back. Now they're connected. They're damn near family, but like not sibling-like, more like romantically. So it just makes sense. They literally have a magical pull towards each other. So it's not squeaky. It's magic.
It's not
Squeaky?
Squeaky.
What's that?
I don't know. I made it up.
Yeah, the hamster falling off
It's
the
like a
wheel.
mix
That's,
between
yeah.
squeamish and icky. Fight me.
Okay.
The rest of him wanted to bathe in her comfort. She pulled one hand away, and he looked up to see her wiping away stray tears from eyes that were now focused exclusively on him. Unwilling to speak about his brother's death, or potential redemption, Sirius avoided the subject of Regulus entirely, breaking the silence with, "So, where is it now?" Hermione stammered for a moment. She looked like she wanted to push him until he disclosed the history between his brother and himself. He gave an expression that told her not to force the issue right now. "Creature said Mundungus took it. I sent Creature off to find him for us." "How do we know he'll do it?" Ron asked. "What if he vanishes and betrays us? He already betrayed Sirius once." "I was very specific with his orders," Hermione replied. Ron raised a brow. "And he'll obey you?" "Of course,"
Yeah, he will.
Hermione affirmed, receiving curious looks from each of the men. Sirius told him to, and he cannot ignore his master's orders. The house elf's highest law is his master's bidding. Ron dipped his head in acceptance, but both Harry and Sirius stared at her suspiciously. "Here," Hermione handed the fake locket back to Harry. "Keep this safe. I told Creature he could have it when he gets back. It made him very happy. Took me a bit to get him to stop crying, actually." Sirius gawked at her. "You gave the elf a present?" "I'm putting an end to the cycle," she affirmed. "Harry's going to defeat you-know-who. We're going to win this war. And when that happens, I'm done watching Muggleborns, goblins, werewolves, and house elves being put under the heel of someone else. It doesn't mean I like him." The distaste in her voice was shocking, and she must have read the surprise on Sirius's face because she frowned at him. "He betrayed you, and you ended up dead because of it. But you're not dead, so I'm looking to the future, and I'm ending the cycle of hatred. I expect all three of you to be nice to that rotten elf when he gets back." She stood up and fled the room in a huff, storming up the stairs. A moment later, the sound of a slamming door echoed through the house. "Just keep Creature away from me when he gets back," Sirius groused. "If you want, I'll give him back to you, Harry." "We'll eventually need to leave Grimmauld Place," Harry replied, shaking his head. "We'll tell him that if we don't return at any point, he should go back to Hogwarts. At least he won't cause trouble there. August 4th, 1997.
How many fucking
They
comments are on
waited
this
days
now?
for Creature to return, growing more and more anxious by the minute.
Look.
Harry and
There
Sirius
will be
practiced
sparkles.
dueling in
You will see the
cellar,
sparkles.
which had been emptied of everything except for a large old iron cage that Remus had used to secure himself during the full moon, before Grimmauld Place had been compromised. Meanwhile, Ron and Hermione usually kept to the drawing room, Hermione reading a book of stories that Dumbledore had given her, and Ron playing with his Deluminator. Making their way up the stairs from the cellar, Sirius could feel the tension in the room as he watched Hermione's eyes narrow in on Ron while he clicked the little instrument in his hands, and watched as the lights went in and out of nearby lamps. Before she had a chance to completely snap and attack him, Sirius snatched the Deluminator out of Ron's hands. "Hey!" Ron glared. "You'll get this back when you learn to do something else with your boredom. You've got a hand fixation? Go smoke," Sirius suggested, tossing his pack of cigarettes to Ron. Ron blinked at the small package, but before he made another move, his gaze switched to Hermione, who looked absolutely murderous. "Don't you dare!" Ron flinched. Harry averted his eyes. Sirius grinned at her. I think I'll pass, mate," Ron said, handing the cigarettes back to Sirius, taking a step out of the room, likely trying to avoid the potential blast radius. Hermione turned her narrowed glare on Sirius, who was not only willing, but also eager to face whatever wrath she had in store for him. I like how it's like, he's almost excited for him to get mad.
Her to get mad.
Sirius, because it literally says, where is it? Sirius was not only willing, but also eager to face whatever wrath she had in store.
Yeah, it's kind of like how some guys like to make us mad because they think we're cute when we're mad, and it's like, it's not funny.
Yeah, kitty got
Yeah.
claws.
Yeah.
Before either
She's
could
a
say a
damn
word,
lion.
however, the security curses shot off in the front hallway and everyone banded together in the drawing room, pulling their wands. "Hold your fire! It's me, Remus." "Oh, thank goodness," said Hermione weakly, pointing her wand at Sirius's mother instead. With a bang, the curtains swished shut and silence fell. Ron, too, lowered his wand, but Harry and Sirius did not. Remus moved forward into the lamplight, hands still held high in a gesture of surrender. "I am Remus John Lupin, werewolf, sometimes known as Moony, one of the 4 creators of the Marauders map. I am married to Nymphadora, usually known as Tonks, and I taught you how to produce a Patronus, Harry, that takes the form of a stag." "Oh, all right," Harry lowered his wand. "But I had to be sure, didn't I?" Remus appeared to relax. "What the hell?" Sirius asked, continuing to hold his wand up, daring his friend to make a move. "What about my security measures, Moony?" "Really?" Remus scowled at him.
Oh no.
"Fine. During my 16th birthday party, you, Sirius Black, during a game of Veritaserum or Dare, publicly admitted to kissing—" "Fine! Fine!" Sirius shouted, holding his wand up in surrender. "Take a guess. Who was Sirius's first kiss?"
Harry's mom.
No. But you do find out later in the story. Also, Veritaserum or Dare is essentially truth or dare, except you have truth serum in you, so you can't lie.
Yeah, I kind of figured that out.
That just sounds fun. Or dangerous.
Well, isn't that kind of like how they say the drunk mind speaks sober thoughts or whatever the heck it is? Which I don't think is always true, but anyway.
Yeah, no, I've said a lot of things while drunk that were not true, but... Anyway.
They felt true
You
at the
have
time.
to say the F word.
Fine, Sirius shouted, holding his wand up in surrender. "Fucker," he growled as Remus, looking triumphant, stepped into the room and embraced his friend. Moving to Harry's side, he clapped the boy on the shoulder. "Speaking as your former Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, I quite agree that you had to check, Harry. Ron, Hermione, you shouldn't be so quick to lower your defenses." "What about me?" Sirius wondered. "You gave in under the pressure of public humiliation." Remus shook his head. "Frankly, I'm embarrassed for you pads, and I hope you never end up being questioned under torture. The mere mention of your teen years will have you pouring out order secrets to anyone who asks." He chuckled, and Sirius rolled his eyes, leading him into the house. No sign of Snape then? No, Harry said. What's going on? Is everyone all right? Yes, Remus replied, but we're all being watched. Let's go downstairs. There's loads to tell you, and I want to know what happened to you after you lot left the burrow. They descended to the large dining room, where Hermione pointed her wand at the grate in the corner. A fire sprang up instantly, giving the illusion of coziness to the stark walls. Light from the flames reflected off the long wooden table. Remus pulled a few bottles of butterbeer from beneath his traveling cloak, and they sat down. Sirius looked at him expectantly. Butterbeer or nothing? Sirius took the small bottle, but grumbled about it. I'd have been here sooner, but I needed to shake off the Death Eater tailing me, Remus said. So, you came straight here after the wedding? Yes, Hermione confirmed. Since all four of us couldn't side along together without serious risk of splinching, this was the only semi-safe place that we could think of on such short notice. Tell us what happened after we left. We haven't heard a thing since Ron's dad told us the family was safe, Harry begged. Well, Kingsley saved us, Remus said. Thanks to his warning, most of the wedding guests were able to disapparate before Death Eaters arrived. Were they actual Death Eaters or ministry people? Hermione interjected. A mixture, but for all intents and purposes, they're all the same thing now, Remus answered.
For all intensive purposes.
But they didn't know that you were there, Harry. Arthur heard a rumor that they tried to torture your whereabouts out of Scrimgeour before they killed him. If it's true, he didn't give you away. That's surprising, Harry admitted. The Death Eaters searched the burrow from top to bottom, Remus went on, and then they interrogated those of us who remained for hours. They were trying to get information on you, Harry. Of course, no one apart from the Order knew that you had been there. When that didn't work, they began asking about Sirius, though no one outside the Order has seen you since you've returned, at least not until the wedding. Rumors had reached their ears. Do you remember why no one but the Order knew that Harry was at the wedding? What they did to hide him?
Wasn't that the thing where they all drank Apologies potion and they all turned into him?
Which they didn't do in the movie. But...
Right potion, wrong scene. So at the wedding, they didn't do this in the movies just because it was hard to, it would have been hard to do. In the books and in Dead of Time, they gave him Polyjuice potion of a red-headed boy from the village so that he would look like a Weasley.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. What did they ask about me? Sirius inquired, sipping his butterbeer. Mostly if any of us knew you were really back, and if so, how it was possible. Remus sighed and looked to Hermione. They were just trying to rile me up, I could tell. Didn't work, though, he said with a smile. Course not, Sirius grinned. Takes more than an interrogation to break you, Moony. Others... Remus' smile faded. They burnt down Daedalus Diggle's house, and they used the... They burnt down a man's house. Stop laughing at his name.
Diggle.
Forgot about that.
I'm gonna start calling you Diggles.
I never did
Do
that.
you have the Diggle Giggles?
The Diggle Giggles.
Sounds like a dance. Diggle giggles. It's like the Monster Mash.
Alright. They burnt down Daedalus Diggle's house.
Oops.
And they used the Cruciatus
Forgot she was dead for a second.
Thomas's parents. What? Sirius jumped up and kicked his chair over, sending it skidding across the room where it splintered against the wall. They hurt Dromeda? Who's Dromeda and how is she connected to Sirius?
Okay, I can't believe you're asking me that because isn't they just said that they hurt Tonks's parents? So isn't Dromeda her mama?
Yeah, a girl.
Yes, but how are Andromeda and Sirius connected?
I don't know. They siblings or something?
We talked about this in a previous episode. Andromeda, Narcissa, and Bellatrix were sisters from the Black family, and they were Sirius's first cousins.
Oh, okay. She's fine.
Sorry, my dog's snoring. She's fine, Remus assured him.
Which is funny because he is
but
also
otherwise
currently
okay.
snoring.
I promise. They're my family now, too.
He's
Remus
old
stood and
now.
grounded Sirius by placing
Max
a hand on his
is going
shoulder.
to be 8
Tonks
in
is home now,
December.
taking care of them both. How could they do that? Hermione gasped. It's illegal. What you've got to realize, Hermione, is that the Death Eaters have the full support of the Ministry on their side now, Remus said. They've got the power to perform brutal spells without fear of identification or arrest.
I'm sorry, but she's complaining about that and now that's illegal when I'm sorry, but somebody has done some illegal things herself. I'm assuming.
Yes, but she didn't torture people.
What?
Ah,
You gotta
Rita.
remember, like, the Cruciatus Curse is supposed to be the most painful thing a human can experience. It's literally pain in the form of magic. It feels like there's a bajillion needles poking into your body that are white hot. And
So it's like getting a period.
It's
or childbirth. Not that either one of us would know what childbirth is like, but we're just assuming from other people's experiences.
Honestly, you know, I've talked to a couple people who have said kidney stones are actually, if they had to choose between having another kidney stone and having another child, they would choose the child. And I've had a kidney stone, and that was excruciating.
Boiling water poured down my back.
Well, I've never
Accident.
had that, so I wouldn't.
Slicing my thumb down to
But
the
anyway,
tendon.
We digress.
Having scar tissue postpartum burned off with silver nitrate without the fucking numbing working. All of those were worse than childbirth.
They managed to penetrate every defensive spell we've
Yeah,
cast against them.
still not a good
Once
enough reason to
inside,
use the word
they were
penetrate.
completely open about why they'd come. They'd made Harry a fugitive, wanted for questioning over Dumbledore's death. And Hermione? They've begun a Muggle-born registration department. All Muggle-borns have to register. It's a cover for bringing them in and accusing them of stealing magic. That's ridiculous. You can't steal magic, Hermione objected.
You know, what a
Ron began
weird
pacing,
fucking
nervously
thing to
chewing on the
listen
inside of his
to
cheek.
in today's day and age
People
in the
won't let this
USA.
happen. It is happening,
Happening.
Ron, Remus said, his attention
People
on the
won't let this
Evergreen,
happen.
pointedly ignoring Sirius.
Everybody keeps saying it's not that
Muggle-borns are being
bad.
rounded up as we speak. It doesn't matter.
But they deserve
You're all on
it.
a mission, and I imagine
But
what
they
you
shouldn't
need
have
to
broken
do
the
involves
law.
keeping under the radar, regardless.
But they're taking our
As he continued to
jobs.
speak, Sirius turned his attention to his friend. Something was off. He sniffed the air once and narrowed his eyes at Remus. Standing up, Sirius kicked the leg of Remus's chair lightly. Come have a chat with me, Moony. I'm fine here, Padfoot. Now, Remus. After hesitating just a moment, Remus stood and made his way through the door. Sirius slammed it shut behind them. He could hear it when Ron asked, "What the bloody hell was that about?" "What's going on?" Sirius demanded of Remus point blank. "I don't know what you mean," Remus denied quickly,
God,
but
that
firmly.
nasally
"Don't fuck around,
sound.
Remus," Sirius shouted, lifting his wand threateningly. "Why do you smell like fear and shame? What have you done? I know you didn't tell the Ministry anything about me or Harry, so what is it?" I want to come with you," Remus pleaded. "I want to help." Sirius eyed him. "That shouldn't make you shameful. What does my cousin think about you joining this little band of misfits?" "She's with her parents." "That's not what I asked," Sirius growled. "What are you hiding?" His shoulders sagged, and he looked down as he whispered, "She's pregnant. She's..." Sirius lowered his wand at the unexpected announcement. He remembered the moment that Lily had told them she was expecting. It had been one of the happiest moments of all of their lives, an announcement that helped push them past a great deal of grief and sorrow. Yet this moment was tense, and Remus looked so guilty. Sirius wanted to celebrate with his friend, congratulate him, but he promptly figured out why the werewolf was in no celebratory mood. Eyes wide, he slapped Remus hard over the head. "You dickhead! Ow! What the hell? You're leaving her? You stupid fuck!" Sirius shot red sparks out of his wand at the floor, nearly setting Remus's cloak on fire. "She'll be safer without me," Remus yelled back. "I can do better being with you, helping Harry. It's what James would have wanted." Suddenly, Sirius's wand shot back as his blood boiled beneath his skin. The look on Remus's face said he knew exactly how poorly his words had been chosen. "You want to tell me again what you think James would have wanted? You are not Harry's godfather. I am. I am here to protect him, not you. I don't have a family. You do. Now get your arse out of this house and go home to them. That's what James would have wanted. Don't you see what I've done? Remus's normally pale face briefly reddened in anger. I made her an outcast. Bellatrix tried killing her because of me, and now my child? What have I done? You still think you're gonna pass it on to your kid? Sirius asked him incredulously, desperately wanting to hit him again. How thick are you? You've been told for years that can't happen. Remus shook his head. You don't know that. It's in the saliva, stupid. Mia told you that every year.
Mia, god damn it.
Bite when you're fully turned. Sirius lowered his wand and ran frustrated fingers through his hair. Merlin, you know all of this, Remus. You know what he's concerned about, right?
Yes, that he's gonna pass down him turning into a werewolf or whatever and his kid.
Ow. There's no conclusive evidence, Remus muttered quietly. No conclusive... Sirius snarled, threw his wand down, and launched himself forward, sinking a bald fist into the side of Remus's jaw. I just want to take a moment to picture that. That beautiful, beautiful moment where this guy literally throws... He's a wizard, raised by a wizarding family, and in this moment was so angry that instead of casting Stupefy or Expelliarmus or some other stupid spell that would knock him down, he threw his wand down and left at him and punched him.
Yeah, and...
You are not appreciating this as much as I was hoping you would.
Well, I don't know how to appreciate it. Like, I don't really get why you're so like, ah.
Moving on. Remus stumbled backwards and turned, hitting Sirius hard on the side of the head. Just as his fist connected, Sirius shifted into Padfoot and latched his jaws onto Remus's forearm tightly, growling loudly as Remus continued to shout and growl back. What in Merlin's name? Hermione screamed as she burst through the door, Harry and Ron right behind her. Immobilis! Both instantly froze. Are you both mad? She snapped and retrieved their wands, Remus's from his hand and Sirius's from
And put a
the
cape
floor.
on him and say, no, you're Superman.
Padfoot fell to the ground, growling. He quickly shifted back into human form and moved to the other side of the kitchen as Hermione unfroze Remus. Now, tell me what happened. Tonks is pregnant, Sirius said hastily. That's wonderful, Hermione brightened, and she moved to hug Remus, but he shrugged her away, guilt plastered on his face. What's wrong? Is Tonks okay? No, she most certainly is not okay, Remus barked. Watch your tone with her, mate, Sirius growled, ominously enough that both Harry and Ron stepped away from him, looks of genuine fear in their eyes, as they kept drawn wands moving between the two wizards. What's wrong with Tonks? Harry finally blurted out. The baby could be a werewolf, Remus said out loud for the first time. Sirius rolled his eyes. He's an idiot. Oh, Remus. Hermione approached him carefully, placing a gentle hand on his unwounded arm. Come, sit down. Let me fix that. She gestured to the large bite wound on his other arm, where Sirius had latched on. Remus quietly obeyed, tugging on the leg of a chair with his foot and pulling it out far enough to drop into it. Hermione smiled at his acquiescence and then turned to Ron. Would you go and get my bag? There's a small bottle of Dittany in it. Please bring it here. You sure? Ron asked cautiously, his gaze wavering between Remus and Sirius as though he was preparing for them to start fighting again. Everything will be fine. Please just go, Hermione said. She returned her attention to Remus, bringing a hand to his face and tilting his chin to force him to look at her. He did, but immediately looked away again, blinking aside tears. Remus, you're going to be a wonderful father, and your child will not have lycanthropy. It's only transmittable through a bite on the full moon. That's what we've been telling him since Hogwarts, Sirius grumbled irritably. Remus shook his head. There's no proof. Completely fed up with his friend, Sirius scoffed loudly. You want proof? Mooney, if saliva, semen, or blood transferred your furry little problem to others without a full moon, then I'd have a furry little problem of my own. I'm gonna say that again so that I get a reaction. If saliva, semen, or blood transferred your furry little problem to others without the full moon, then I'd have a furry little problem of my own.
What?
Forgot about that part.
Confusion is good. Instantly, Harry and Hermione gaped at Sirius. Remus turned his head and looked quizzically at him. Sirius blinked a few times, trying to understand their expressions before explaining. Blood, he clarified, subconsciously scratching at his left shoulder where a scar rested beneath a pattern of tattoos. 5th year, we did a whole... And then after Hogwarts it was... He groaned, attempting to describe it, his gaze narrowing at Remus in the process for not helping. He gave an emphatic shake of his head, and Harry swallowed a laugh. It was like a Blood Brothers thing, like Muggles do, not with semen. You know, nothing like that.
What?
There we go. There's the confusion.
That's disgusting. People actually do... What?
Oh, you've never heard of that? Oh, yeah, no. People used to do that all the time. It was like you would either do a nick on the palm of your hand or on your
but
thumb.
the other thing, that's no.
That's another topic of conversation. All right, we're getting off track. And this is running really long. Holy shit. Anyway.
And I have to pee, so hurry up.
Yeah. See, Hermione smiled,
She always-
stifling her own burst of
always
laughter.
had to
She
fucking
turned back
pee.
to Remus, thanking Ron as he re-entered the kitchen with the small bottle of healing extract. You are going home to your wife, she instructed clearly as she placed drops of Dittany on the bite wound. And you are going to rub her feet and buy her ice cream and do anything she wants, and you are going to do it with a smile on your face. And get over yourself in the process, Sirius added. Well, that's not how I'd put it, Hermione frowned at Sirius, but yes, get over yourself. You're a good man, a good friend, and a good husband, and you'll be a good father. I agree with Hermione, Harry said, and when Sirius cleared his throat, he added, and Sirius. Sirius watched as Remus said nothing, taking Hermione's hand within his own. His eyes drifted to her shoulder, left partially bare by the dark blue vest she was wearing. The corners of Remus's mouth turned up slightly in a sad little smile at the sight of her blemish-free skin. For several moments, the room
That
was
part
silent
freaked me
while
out
he
the first
worked
one because
through
I
his
was like, why is he
conflict with
admiring
with
her
nothing but
blemish-free
Hermione's
young
hands
skin?
and the
Like,
presence of friends for support. Eventually, he stood up to face Sirius and muttered, "Sorry." "Do me a favor, Mooney," Sirius requested as he approached.
did I say, just say
placing a hand on the
Moody
man's
instead of
shoulders.
Mooney?
"Stay with Tonks. Hide. Don't fight. I don't care what happens. I don't care if it comes down to the end. You stay with your family. You need to survive this." He glanced briefly at Hermione before returning his attention to his friend, whispering, "I need you to survive." "I need to survive this," Remus repeated. "You have a job to do," Sirius reminded him. "So stay with your wife and child, make yourself the bloody secret keeper, and stay in the fucking house. No repeating history." Remus nodded firmly, wiping his eyes with the back of his hand. No repeating history.
Wow, that's intense.
Boom. Mic drop.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to say. Wow. Okay.
God, I love when this story makes you speechless, and you haven't even gotten to the hard parts yet.
Okay.
So, you know how in
She
This Is
sounds
Us,
concerned.
it like rips your heart out of your chest and you feel like you're dying and all you want to do is cry? So Shaylani is sickeningly good at that.
Shia.
Yeah, because that's
Shia.
really what I need right now, but okay.
Oh, she's a fucking sadist. She takes, like, she's... When we do the QA with her at the end of this season, ask her how much joy she gets out of breaking her readers.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like how Brianna got really joy of waxing us and watching us be like, oh God, why?
And again for the oversharing in this episode of Firewhisky
Okay,
and
I
Honey.
think
Thanks,
we've
Dad.
overshared a lot. Like the last episode we both admitted that we have therapists. Like, come on. Oh, by
It's
the
a
way,
little
today's,
different than sharing that we
I
used to get
know,
bikini
and
waxed
actually
in the same room,
today
but
is
that's
also Mental
okay.
Health
By a
Month.
friend. Which, by the way,
Yes,
was like
okay,
right next
yeah,
door to a
we'll
restaurant. I'm
recognize
pretty
that.
sure they heard
It'll
us
be
yelling.
later by the time this episode airs. But yes, this is that time of year, so holidays can be hard, kids. If you're having a hard time, talk to somebody. Both of us are good listeners. Or talk to your friends, or talk to your significant other, or talk to a therapist. I think they're actually. No, man, that's for something different. I was gonna say Emma Watson just launched something, but actually she just launched a call service where women can get free legal advice for workplace harassment or
I
discrimination.
forgot she did that.
Really?
Dude, this girl, what a champ. But anyway, I feel like this episode ran really long. I'm sorry, guys. It's looking like we're gonna start hitting hour episodes instead of just 45 minutes because I feel like the chapters are longer, and I feel like Kat and I are talking more.
Just 1 hour, guys. That's
also,
it.
big, heavy pauses.
We did cut a
Well,
lot of
if
those.
they can sit in front of a movie screen and watch Endgame for 3 hours, they can listen to this for 1 hour.
That's fair. Also,
And by the way, I still haven't seen that movie, so don't even spoil it for me.
Oh, that's right, because she would only watch it.
I feel like
Sorry,
I just
but
like
it
the mentor.
Yeah, but when it came out, I was feeling some type of way because I was supposed to see it with somebody, and I can't. So yeah. I
They
haven't
saw
even
it
seen The
together.
Incredibles 2 yet. Like there are movies that I refuse to watch unless that person is with me watching it. So I need to either achieve that or get over it. I haven't decided.
Okay, I will fly down and watch them with you.
No.
All right.
As much as I'd love to see you, no.
Purple.
All right, I might just do a second episode because it's early here, and for the people,
Thanks for listening to
there's
another
no way.
episode
I
of Firewhisky
literally
and
can't
Honey.
release
And a special
all of the
thank you to
fucking.
Shaylani for allowing us to read
I
this
can't release all
story.
the.
And Blue Ivy
We had to cut
for
certain
creating
things
our
out just
awesome
due to
logo.
We would
personal
also like to
reasons,
welcome
oversharing
Hannah
things,
back.
legal reasons,
Once
things
again,
we
our
said, and then
lovely
later on
team
went,
and
maybe shouldn't have said that.
welcoming her again because
Just,
last time
yeah,
we
no.
forgot her name.
We
Sorry,
will
Hannah.
not release raw audio,
Thanks, Hannah
but,
You can find us on Instagram at Firewhisky and Honey Podcast. No E in whiskey.
and on Twitter at FWH Podcast.
If you enjoy this podcast.
all right, we're doing a second episode. Tuck in, nerds. This one is Null. Okay, great. How long is Null? What the
Have you ever
fuck?
wished that your world had more magic?
Or that your favorite character had survived.
How do I not? The
How about
fuck?
a full-length spin-off?
This one's
of your
49
childhood
minutes.
series?
Then do we have a podcast for you?
Hello, everyone.
Wish there was a way to,
I'm
like,
Claire,
And I'm
pin.
Kat.
and this is Fire, Whiskey, and Honey.
But yeah, no,
podcast
there's a
about
lot
your
of things that
favorite
you guys
novel
do
and
not need to
modern
hear that were
literature.
on the raw audios or like
Each
us
episode,
going
we read a chapter
into
of this story.
significant detail on
For language and adult situations.
boring things,
So
political
listen,
things, and
Or
we
don't,
tried to not
Without further ado,
be
here's
too
our recap of
political
last
unless
week's
it was,
chapter
you know,
of The Dead of
clear and
Night.
obvious things like George Floyd, where, you know, not speaking on it felt
All right, Catherine,
privileged.
what do you remember?
But there were a lot of diatribes that just
Stuff went down.
don't need to be on there.
Every week. This happens every week.
Hey, I have a lot on my mind and a lot that I have to do these days, so you know what? Okay, what had happened was...
It's the first time she says it.
No, Madungus Fletcher. And
Oh,
Coach
God,
made
okay,
her
so-
blackface. And something about Harry asking what's his face about his parents.
So last one
and
was the
he
first time she
straight
said
up lying to
situations. This
him
is the
and
first time she
making
said what
his
had happened
appear.
was.
And crap. Can I phone a friend? Do I have a line?
Oh, that was my podcast laugh. That's my
So,
moderated laugh. You guys
what
did
happened
eventually
was
get
they were
just
looking
the
for the
unhinged
locket.
hyena.
Creature told them that it was Mundungus Fletcher. Creature started acting super weird around Hermione, and we think it is because of the life debt ritual, which essentially tied Hermione to the Black family by tying her to Sirius, which means that Creature now answers to her. The other thing that happened was Remus came to tell everybody that Tonks is pregnant, and everybody was super excited, right up until Sirius realized that Remus
I
was
know.
going to run away from
I
his
know.
fatherly duties. And
She also said, the debt of time instead of the debt of time. I tried to get her to say it the right cadence.
No, you're going to be a dad, you're going to make yourself the secret keeper, and you're going to hide in your house until all of this is over.
Wow.
Boom, shakalaka.
I really left a lot of stuff out there.
And that's fine. Hey, you remember the creature thing that I'm super excited about?
Yeah, because creature, like, he doesn't bug me, but he also, I feel like he is my spirit house elf when I'm cranky. Like, when I'm in a mood, I am creature.
Yeah, she was.
Creature.
Okay, Mad Eye.
Hurtful.
Rude.
Hey, I didn't start it. Your husband did.
Ooh, doubly hurtful. Alright, so let's go ahead with Chapter 7, Terrible Watchdog. September 4th, 1997. Harry, Ron, and Hermione successfully broke into the Ministry after Mundungus arrived at Grimmauld Place, dragged there against his will by a vengeful house elf under direct orders from Hermione. Okay, wow, I forgot how quickly they jump into this chapter. Like, in the books, it's like, they make this whole plan, and then they go and they kidnap people, and they polyjuice them, and then they break into the Ministry, and they go into all that, and this is just, like, takes, essentially,
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Like, 2 chapters worth of content in the original books and just made it a sentence.
Yeah, but I don't... They broke into the Ministry, like, in chapters 1 or 2, so they're doing it again?
Yeah, so the original break-in in chapter 2 was to get Sirius, and that one was not in the original Harry Potter books. This break-in is in the original Harry Potter books, because, if you allow me to go on, Dunk told them all about how he had lost the locket, and then pointed out the picture of its new owner in the Daily Prophet, Dolores Umbridge. So, if you remember in the movies, Dobby and Creature both dragged back Mundungus in the movies. In this
such
book,
a great
Creature. They brought Dunk
image.
back, and
I love
he said
that.
that he sold the locket to a Ministry girl, and it was Dolores Umbridge, who is the pink toad from book movie 5, the
Yes.
bitch. So he sold it to her, and she wears it all the time.
Imelda Staunton cracks me up because she was like, I have so many people saying you'd be perfect for Umbridge, and I see how she's described in the book, and I'm just like,
and they do the polyjuice
thanks.
thing. Remember where Ron dresses up and has to go fix an office that's raining, and then he gets all wet, and then he goes and tries and saves his wife, and then Harry has to remind him that it's not actually his wife. And
yeah, and how they find it disgusting that they have to get in the toilet. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And then Hermione gets dragged off to be like the scribe, I guess, at the meetings with Umbridge. Anyway,
yeah.
So Harry, Ron, and Hermione successfully broke into the Ministry after Mundungus arrived at Grimmauld Place and told them that Dolores Umbridge had the thing. Sirius overheard Hermione and Ron talking about the scars on Harry's hand, and it took him very little effort to figure out that Umbridge had harmed his godson permanently. What are they referencing?
Oh, I must not tell lies.
Good girl.
I pulled that one out my butt.
You did. You want a cookie?
Yeah.
Coupled with the fact that she had been behind a number of terrible things at Hogwarts, the stupid anti-werewolf legislation, and now the ridiculous Muggle-born Registration Act, Sirius wanted to go after her himself. It took both Harry and Hermione pleading with him, in addition to threats of petrifying him and leaving him alone with only Creature as company, for him to back down. Completely contrary to their plan, Sirius followed the trio to the Ministry of Magic. He lingered across the street in his animagus form while they infiltrated the institution under the influence of the Polyjuice Potion. It took him less than an hour to arrive outside of the entrance, a large bathroom where men and women lined up outside the stalls. Padfoot paraded around as a lost dog as he waited impatiently for the trio to return. Every once in a while, someone stopped and patted him on the head, something that made him roll his eyes. He wanted to growl and bite, but he knew it would cause more attention than being docile. So he held back and gritted his teeth as old ladies ran their sweaty hands over the top of his head while calling him a good little doggy. At one point, someone glanced at him and screamed, "Grim!" before running the other way, giving Sirius a good chuckle in the process. What's the Grim?
The thing in the teacup.
Not wrong. What does it signify?
Death.
Good.
God,
After
I'm
what felt
so
like
fucking
eternity, Ron,
condescending.
Harry,
It's
and
so
Hermione finally
cringy.
exited the
Yeah.
Ministry in great haste. Sirius immediately caught sight of the Death Eaters on their tail. He shifted to his human form and grasped Harry's hand as Harry took hold of Hermione, who gripped tightly to Ron. It was dangerous and stupid, but they had little choice in the matter as he actually reached for Hermione. Mid-disapparation, Hermione managed to shake off the Death Eater, but only after he had seen the entrance to Grimmauld Place. Sidelong apparition with another person was risky. Taking 2 people was ill-advised. 3 was suicidal. Hermione landed them in the forest where the Quidditch World Cup had been held, as Ron hastily explained to Sirius, and the men all fell to the ground, wincing as air pushed its way into their lungs. Harry and Ron were on their knees, bleary-eyed and dizzy. Sirius, too, had a hard time regaining his senses, but the first that came back was his sense of smell. He breathed in a faint coppery odor and knew immediately that someone had been splinched. His head swiveled as he followed the scent, only to discover it was Hermione that was gravely injured. Sirius cradled her blood-covered form to him in order to retrieve her small beaded bag, and then he began rummaging through it. He threw the contents of the bag across the ground until he found the bottle of Dittany she had used a month earlier on Remus in the kitchen of Grimmauld Place. Sirius heard Harry gasp, watching as he placed as he pieced Hermione's back and shoulder together. A long cut slashed along her right arm, wound across the back of her shoulder blade, and down beneath her blouse. He tore the garment away, revealing nothing but severed skin. He applied the Dittany carefully, using his wand to close the wounds as quickly as possible. "There's a tent. Get it up," he ordered brusquely, with a cold tone that told both Harry and Ron he wasn't going to stand for any hesitation. While the tent was being pitched, Sirius moved around the boys constantly, attending to Hermione's small, unconscious form, never looking either of them in the eye. The boys, in turn...
So, yeah, goodnight, Gracie is something my mom used to say. Say goodnight, Gracie, and we'd be like, goodnight, Gracie, and then Cat was just, I don't wanna.
Each wizard took his fair share of the blame silently.
That wasn't gonna
though
be
Ron
a
and Harry
long-term
were
thing. It was
more
just
comfortable talking with one another about it. Once Hermione was safely in the tent on
I'm
her
real
bed,
glad that doesn't just
Sirius
send paint
Ron
everywhere.
pulled open a small black Medowitch kit and began pouring pain relief potion and blood replenishing potion down her throat. By the time Harry and Ron dared to enter the tent, Sirius was already in his animagus form at the foot of Hermione's bed, standing guard over her sleeping form. And there he remained.
Should not be so difficult to
A little different from the movies, huh?
Oh yeah,
Who got splinched in the movies?
one of the twins.
No.
Oh, but then Ron did in that. Yeah, okay, I remember that.
There we go. The twin got Sectum Sempra by Snape.
Oh, okay.
Sirius kept vigil over Hermione's recovery, shifting into human form only when changing her bandages, feeding her potions, or waking her enough to give her an opportunity to eat, though they had little food available. On those occasions, he said as little as possible, refusing to meet her eyes, though she pleaded with him to look at her. Unable to let her see him break, Sirius retreated into his animagus form, knowing that it was near impossible for her to read the expressions on his face that way. The locket, unfortunately, made everything worse. Sirius wore it at night and would dream of Azkaban and Dementors. He saw visions of James and Lily dying, of Peter's ugly, twisted sneer, and of a girl he loved vanishing into nothingness, leaving him alone in the world.
Oh.
He was grateful to be rid of the bloody thing each morning, but he observed with frustrating intensity as the Horcrux infected the other 2 wizards. Harry withdrew into himself, and Sirius kept a watchful eye, often removing the locket early if he noticed Harry being weighed down by it too quickly. Ron complained constantly, though a warning growl from Patchwick shut him up instantly. Despite her attempts, Sirius insisted that a piece of Voldemort's soul would not touch any part of Hermione at any time. September 7th, 1997. So, how are you feeling a little bit? This is a little more somber chapter than we were used to.
Yeah, it is, and it's like, I don't know what the word is, but like, Sirius's relationship with Hermione is kind of like, I don't want to say it's freaking me out, but it's like, it's very interesting.
I think at this point when I first started reading it, again, some parts with the age difference, I was like, But one,
No, I wasn't, by the way.
age of
That is
consent in the UK,
bullshit.
if I'm not mistaken, is like 16.
Basically, all I
So
read now is age gap romances. The fact that she was like a teenager, okay, yeah, that part was.
and also at this point,
But
she's
like,
18
yeah, no,
anyway.
age gap stuff doesn't.
Or actually, yeah, she should be 18.
I was trying to
she's
keep
born
it
in
kosher.
1980, and this is 1997.
So she's only 16.
She's about to turn 18.
Oh,
So
wait,
she's
no.
17 at this point. She'll be 18 on September 19th. So technically she's already the age of consent in Great Britain, so she's considered an adult anyway. And you also have to remember that she essentially tied herself magically in a bond to Sirius. So, like, the connection they have is beyond, it's not like a conscious thing on either of their ends.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm not saying that it's wrong or anything because it happens and do you whatever you want to do. I really don't care.
I love
But
how
it's
hard
just,
she's
I
trying
guess
to
it's
not be
because I
judgmental.
haven't read the books or any other like fan fiction or whatever, but it's just I can't picture them. I know they're not together, but I can't picture them together, and I can't picture them like having any kind of whatever. So it's just hard for me to like, I guess, accept that that could happen or see it or believe it or accept it. I don't even know, but it's weird for me.
And
You
that's
will
fine.
believe it.
Yes, I
And that is all I will say on the matter.
Okay.
September 7th, 1997. We need to leave soon, Harry. I know. You think she's well enough to apparate, though? Sirius could hear the boys whispering outside of the tent where they were supposed to be standing guard. Only one needed to keep watch at a time, but it was obvious to everyone that Ron wanted away from the tension inside. How the bloody hell should I know? Can't get anywhere near enough to see. Not when he's wearing that thing. The tent door flapped in the breeze, and Sirius caught a glimpse of the boys standing there, huddled together as though perfectly unaware that he could hear every word. You go in and figure it out, Ron suggested. Get some sleep after. Harry must have agreed, because he was inside a moment later. Sirius watched as he flicked his wand, igniting a few lamps in the corner of the room to light up the dark space. Attention turned to a large red in one of the corners. Harry slowly approached, hands up to show that he was not a threat. Padfoot eyed him balefully as he stepped closer.
That's my
watching
10:30
Sirius'
alarm,
eyes
which is your
start to
reminder to
lock
stop
and
being
hang
lazy
around his
asshole and do
forehead.
something.
Sirius?
Because time blindness
asked
is a
quietly.
bitch.
It'd be really nice if I could talk to you. I need to know how Hermione is. He gestured to the body of the girl sleeping behind him. Her small frame was tucked carefully beneath the blankets, but the bandage over her back was still visible when Padfoot craned his neck to glance at her. Sirius knew that Harry blamed himself, of course, though each of the wizards took their turn carrying the weight of the guilt. Padfoot lowered his head, allowing Harry to remove the Horcrux. The moment it was gone, he let out a quick breath and shifted back, into human form, rubbing the sore muscle in his neck. Is it me, or is this thing getting heavier? You all right? Harry quietly asked. Sirius glanced at Hermione's sleeping form inside. Better today. You going to tell me what's going on yet? Sirius shook his head, knowing exactly what Harry was referring to. After such an incident, it was more likely for Sirius to have been worried about his godson, even if Hermione had been hurt. But that was obvious in the way that Sirius refused to leave her side, that he was keeping secrets. Not my place, just... She saved me, and I almost let her... We, Harry corrected. This is on all of us, not just you. It's my job to take care of you lot, Sirius tried to explain.
Our job.
It's my job to save the world, Harry shrugged his shoulders. She's in the world, therefore it's my job. You can't take my job, Sirius. You're not the chosen one. I am.
Always has to bring that up. Just in case you forgot, I'm the chosen
Yeah, so-
one, people, because I'm a cocky butt face.
Agreed that there are
Cocky
issues.
face. Is that the technical term for it?
There is a grooming
Yes, it
aspect
really
that
is, like,
absolutely.
come on, like-
Yeah, I was reading that. I was like,
Seriously, if Harry
there's
Potter
some
was a
men
real
groomer,
person, if
some
he
men are
was,
groomers
like,
operating
out
inside the
there
law,
in the
and I was
wars
one of
on
them.
dating apps, he'd be like,
Um,
I'm the
no, you
chosen,
weren't.
that's why
I
I'm
hope.
choosing
I can just see
But
that
yeah,
on his TikTok. Hashtag chosen
anyway,
one.
yes, no,
Yeah,
agreed
like, come
completely.
on, man. Let it
There were a
go.
lot of times where I was
Sirius
like,
rolled his his eyes.
Oh, he thinks I'm so grown up.
Stop
And
it,
as
the
an adult,
bloody
I'm like,
show
no,
is
he just realized it was
nonsense.
inappropriate.
Can
And
she
he
travel?
said that to
Harry
make him
asked,
feel better.
ignoring him. You know we can't stay in one place for very long. We've already been here for days. You still having visions? Sirius inquired, noticing the exhausted look in Harry's eyes. Harry shifted his gaze away as he sighed, nodding. I want to stop, but none of us is in any shape to practice occlumency right now. It would only make us weaker, he admitted sadly. He's searching for a wand, and he's kidnapped Ollivander and killed Grigorovich. Might be the Death Stick, Sirius suggested. What's that? From behind them, Hermione mumbled. It's just a myth. Go back to sleep, love, Sirius instructed. She ignored him, rolling up to face Harry. It's a myth about an unbeatable wand. There's a story about it in the book Dumbledore gave me. That thing's all in runes. When did you have a chance to translate it? Sirius asked her with a raised brow. I've been sitting here doing nothing for days, Hermione shrugged, wincing in pain as her shoulder protested the movement. Sirius cocked an eyebrow at her. You're supposed to be resting. And you're a terrible watchdog. You constantly fall asleep. When you do that, I read. Reaching for the book she kept beneath her pillow, Hermione brushed off Sirius's hands when he tried to help her get comfortable. In the story, it talks about three brothers who are able to evade death as though death were a real person. Death offers them each a gift. One brother asks for a wand powerful enough to defeat any wizard. I assume that this is the same fairy tale wand that's known as the Death Stick or the Wand of Destiny. Professor Binns mentioned it. I'm the chosen one, and I have the
Wand of Destiny.
Oh my god. Professor Binns mentioned it a few times in History of Magic, she said, frowning down at the book in her hands. So do you think it's real? Harry asked. Sirius shrugged. Maybe. Of course not, Hermione said at the same time. Sirius, it's ridiculous to even think something like that could exist. Oh yeah? Tell Harry what the other two brothers asked for in the story. He gestured, as if allowing her to take the stage. Hermione glared at him.
I didn't cry in the last episode.
The second brother received a stone that could bring back the dead. The third brother asked for a cloak of
see.
invisibility. Dun dun dun. So, a cloak of invisibility, but not just any cloak. A cloak that never loses its charm, never breaks or tears, and is impervious to jinxes and hexes. Sirius grinned smugly as though he'd already won the argument. He tapped his index finger against his bottom lip, ignoring the dark look that Hermione was directing at him. I wonder where we could find such an object. Even if the cloak exists, the other two are still preposterous, she protested.
Wait a second, does he not have this thing yet?
What?
Harry doesn't have his cloak of invisibility because she was like, even if the cloak exists, because it's like in the movie,
Well, no.
he has it and she knows it exists.
Well, that's what she's saying. She knows the cloak exists. So even though that cloak exists, it doesn't mean that the other two do.
But she just said even if the cloak exists, so is she like trying not to make Sirius like know that he has it or what?
No, I think it's just it's a weird way of saying that, acknowledging that the cloak does exist, but that the other two are ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes, it's preposterous to think that people could come back from the dead, Harry said sarcastically, turning to Sirius for backup. Sirius dipped his head solemnly. He figured that his expression would have appeared almost genuine, if not for the glint of mischief he knew was in his eye. Harry, Horcruxes, Hermione admonished when he chuckled in amusement. What we need to be concerned with is how to find a way to destroy the locket and then find the others. She reached for her bag. Now, I've been researching, Sirius growled. When the hell have you been resting? When Ron's in here, she answered as she eyed Sirius and Harry. You two won't leave me alone. Now, there's only two known ways to destroy a Horcrux. Basilisk's venom and fiend fire. Oh god, I hate this. Okay, so
Fiend fire.
Fiend is pronounced fiend. However, when it's combined with the fire, I always say fiend fire, but I don't know if it's fiend fire or fiend fire, so I feel like that needs to be a poll. What do you think, listeners? Fiend fire or fiend fire?
I think Fiend Fire sounds weird.
Yeah, Fiend Fire just sounds better. Anyway.
All right, I
Do
think
you
I'm
know how
done
to
with the
cast
skirt.
Fiend Fire, Sirius? Harry asked. Cast?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, sorry.
I know you guys
Cast?
don't judge.
Yes. Sirius
It
confirmed.
just,
Control it.
I would like
Well,
to
it's
stop at
complicated.
some
It's a
point.
last resort kind of option. If it needs to happen,
It's
I
also
can
part
do
of
it.
why I do
But we're
this
talking
series,
about
because I know you
heading
guys
to a
don't
deserted
judge.
island, placing the Horcrux on that island, casting the fire, and then getting the hell out before it consumes us with it. Might even want to learn a spell that can sink an island. Last resort. Got it. I'm going to go and tell Ron that we'll be able to move today. Harry smiled at Hermione. It's good to see you looking yourself again. How you feeling? What you think?
Not great.
That this is starting to get better, and I don't really have any other words at the moment.
And that's
That's okay. I
fine.
just wanted you to talk so that I could drink some of my super good apple juice that my husband made from fresh apples that he peeled.
Oh, I need to make Jimmy make that again. Fuck yeah.
It tastes like Harry Potter world right now. Tastes like a ball.
Well, I can hear you swallowing.
Ooh.
And that's what editing's for. That's why you talk, we have separate chats, and Hannah-Beth takes this out.
I was still calling her Hannah.
Well, in that
I
case,
struggled.
Sweeney Todd is on right now, and there's a lot of Harry Potter reunion going on right now.
God, I love the Harry Potter reunion, especially now that like Johnny Depp's. Well, no, he is in the series. Colin Farrell's the one that wasn't in very long, but Johnny Depp's in there, so we've got.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
And then we have Bellatrix.
Johnny Depp's still in there. Colin Farrell's the one that wasn't very long. That changed.
Anyone else? Oh, and young Grindelwald, who was played by Jamie Bell.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so we have both Grindelwalds in there.
Yeah, I really need to like go online and read something like to prepare for the next Fantastic Beasts, because after I saw the second one, I was like, okay.
Did they
who's Grindelwald?
stop
What
making those?
crimes
Because
did
I
he
don't
commit?
think
Why
they
is he
finished
busting out
them.
of jail? Like, I don't get any of this.
Well, I think it was from the. Oh, he's wizarding Hitler.
Oh, okay. Well, when you put it like that.
Yeah, he's wizarding Hitler before Voldemort was wizarding Hitler.
Oh, okay.
October 17th, 1997. I thought you knew what you were doing, Ron shouted at Harry as Sirius entered the tent. I thought Dumbledore had told you what to do. I thought you had a real plan.
Dumbledore never tells you what to do or where you're going. He's just like, I'm going to take you to a place, and then I'm going to tell you what to do very vaguely.
Cat's comments
okay?
wrecks me.
Preach.
God.
Also, you guys are helping me not smoke, because I very much want to go smoke, but I also don't want to pause the live.
He was not one these days to
Oh,
jump
they didn't come out in
without
cinema?
provocation. He looked at to
That's...
Hermione
Oh,
with
wait, no,
explanation.
it was during COVID, because I think the second to last one came out the night my husband deployed, and I dropped him off and I didn't stay with him because I had booked the movie because I thought he was going to be gone earlier in the day. So I booked it to like give myself something happy to look forward to because he was going to be deployed. And then I was like, sorry, honey. I gotta go to my movie. Have fun in Afghanistan.
Because the bloody thing's been stolen from Hogwarts, so even if we were able to sneak back into the castle, which we can't because it's being run by bloody Death Eaters, it's not even there for us to take.
Oh, that...
Sirius growled.
You know, I was trying to remember why we were able to do the pod so easily uninterrupted, and I was like, Jimmy wasn't in Afghanistan then, because he was back by then, because we got in the big white fluffy wedding.
Ron, take it off.
It's because he was doing night flights. He was literally gone like every night for night flights.
He's been doing nothing but complaining this whole time. He's starving, as if the rest of us aren't. You complain more than any of us, and Hermione got splinched and almost died. Ron narrowed his eyes. Piss off, Potter.
Those
Why are you
blend
even still
really
here?
well.
Harry asked Ron. The redhead
Impressive.
threw up his hands. Search me. Go home then, Harry snapped. Yeah, maybe I will, Ron shouted, and took several steps towards Harry, who did not back away. Ron, take off the locket, Hermione begged. Sirius's fingers twitched around his wand, watching and listening, desperate to put an end to the boy's childish outburst, even if he only used a silencing charm. However, Hermione and Harry stood between him and Ron, and the boy's temper was unpredictable, especially with the Horcrux hanging around his neck. Sirius felt that Hermione was right. but that did nothing to mollify the nervous anger he felt when the redhead glared at both of his friends with such malice. Harry stared icily at Ron, both boys ignoring Hermione's pleas for peace. Just go home to your family and let your mum make you a big dinner and wipe your face for you. That's what you want anyway. Sassy. It's beautiful.
Cat dying over that is... Okay, that was dark. Cat cracking up over that is...
He's alive. It's all right,
amazing.
Isn't it? With your parents safely out of the way. Uh-oh, Hermione groaned. Before she could act, Sirius grasped Ron's collar and lifted him high into the air. Sirius felt his countenance turn dark, reminiscent of his first meeting with the redhead and the shrieking shack as he stared grimly at Ron. Too far, he said, with a frightening amount of control in his voice. Sirius, Hermione pleaded, put him down. Harry glared at Ron. Yeah, put him down so he can leave. Fine. Sirius slowly lowered Ron's shaking form back to solid ground, holding his stare the entire time. Not letting go of the boy's collar, he used his other hand to tear the locket from Ron's neck and then released him with a shove for good measure. You ever speak to either of them like that again, boy, I'll transfigure what's left of you so no one will even know where to look. He threatened.
Why is that
his
so
tone
hot?
low and menacing. Ron, impulsive as usual, responded by drawing his wand.
Dumb
Sirius
bitch.
was much faster, of course, but before either of them could get a spell off their lips, a shield erupted between them. It expanded across the tent, separating Ron from the other three, visibly showing how the ties of friendship had been severed. Glancing to the side, Sirius saw Hermione concentrating on the shield with her wand drawn. Really staying here, Hermione? Ron asked, and then cast his eyes.
I was trying
balefully at Sirius.
so hard to
Who am I
channel
kidding? Of
Rupert.
course you're staying here.
We promised Harry!
Sorry,
Exclamation mark.
my thing wouldn't turn. We promised Harry, Hermione cried, her wand still up, holding the weight of the shield. Bullshit, Hermione. Ron scowled at her. You're not here for Harry. You're here for him, he said,
Dun, dun, dun.
pointing his wand at Sirius, who only growled in response. Whatever you did to bring him back changed you. He should have stayed dead.
Get
Boom
the
shakalaka, what I
fuck
say?
out.
You're just jealous because you want to hit that.
I mean,
And she don't want you.
nope. But like I said, that's part of how that's part of the Hermione Sirius dynamic now, is that they're literally tied together because she brought him back.
Yeah. Ron is being a baby about it.
Oh my god. Well, Ron's a huge baby in the 7th book anyway. But just as when
Youngest
Ron
child
brought up Harry's
syndrome.
parents, causing Sirius to snap.
Except
Hermione
technically, I guess he is a
apparently
middle
had her own line
child.
to never cross. Sirius was
but
not remotely surprised when she yelled,
It's
"Get out!"
also
Pushed her
like
shield towards Ron.
he's got
forcing
the
him back
youngest child
towards the
thing
tent.
because he does have
You
so
don't
many
belong
older
here.
brothers,
Go
but
away. Grow
also
up.
doesn't get the
And when
benefit
this
of the
war's
youngest
over,
child
finally
because
matured a
the
bit,
youngest child
come
is also
apologize
the
to us.
only girl.
We are
So
done
like,
here.
yeah.
Damn right I am. Ron glared at her and then left. Silence filled the
Spoiled
tent as though Ron had
baby
taken all of
boy.
the noise with him. Hermione looked up when Harry sniffed and wiped the sleeve of his shirt across his face. Sirius clenched and unclenched his fists as he slowly calmed down.
I have
Harry
so many
eventually took a
weird
breath.
random
Running a
tools in
hand
my
through his
office
messy
that
black
come in
hair in
handy right
frustration,
now
he reached for
that
the
I've
Horcrux.
never used in this
I'll take
capacity
first watch.
before, but
Sirius placed a hand on his godson's shoulder. You sure?
I'm
Yeah,
not mad about
I
it.
need time to think anyway. You two get some rest. Harry gave Hermione a small smile, and she returned it briefly as he left the tent. When her
I'm gonna
gaze
make these
connected with
gloves
Sirius's,
white.
Hermione broke away immediately. An hour later, when she could not stop thinking long enough to rest, Hermione sat up and sighed. She looked at Sirius and frowned when she caught him staring at her, bringing an uncomfortable warmth to her face. She felt like she had been caught doing something wrong. Walking to the tent door, she peered outside to find Harry leaning up against the trunk of a tree, staring intently down at his wand as though it would tell him what they should do. Do you ever think maybe he's right? Sirius asked.
Maybe
Don't.
he's right.
Hermione shook her head as
I
she
don't
made her way
understand how
back
the world
towards
is
the
so
bed.
much
The
could be
same
there.
bed that she had been
Look at the
unthinkingly
stuff.
sharing with Sirius
Doesn't
since she
it
had been
mean
sponged,
what
though
did
never
you
in his
think
human
my
form.
collections
Somehow,
include?
she had overlooked the fact that the dog was still, in fact, a fully grown wizard. She would snuggle beneath the covers and he would crawl beside her, turning once in a circle before tucking his snout against his front paws. Absent-mindedly, Hermione would reach over and stroke his fur as though he were some old, beloved family pet, and not Harry's godfather, a man who she had used blood magic to bring back to life.
Who's also a fully tatted fucking,
But here, now,
you know,
with him standing in front of her,
criminal.
his gray eyes trained on her face, Hermione shivered under the intensity of his
Y'all better be
gaze.
careful. I've started taking fucking.
What?
Oh man, all the Ezra Miller stuff would have been so good.
Oh,
She had a lot of
yes.
thoughts on Ezra Miller.
Okay.
Brown cow.
Chicken brown cow. I've been taking voice
Maybe I
lessons,
should
so
have Don't. Hermione snapped at him.
okay. Look,
The
I
locket made him
bought
feel
these because I was gonna use them for
something else to yell about. Not wrong.
masking
That's weird,
fluid.
you know that happened.
It did not work the way I wanted it to.
Notice I say the other book and not the
But
original,
I also use them when I'm
because
playing
I like
Play-Doh
this
with
book
my
more
kid to
than
make
the
like
original.
eyes and stuff. Oh shit, she's almost done. All right, inside of her mouth, we are
The
gonna still
locket
make that
made him say
green.
those things. If you
No,
were
we're
here
gonna make it
and
pink.
found something else to yell about, don't you dare say that you should have stayed dead. He's not entirely wrong, Sirius reasoned calmly as he
Dark
approached her. You're not just here for Harry. He closed the distance between them until he was inches away from her, the heat from their bodies colliding.
Oh, dark
Neither
pink,
am
I
I,
guess.
he admitted, his voice husky as he spoke. That voice did things to her that she was not ready to acknowledge. At least,
Oh God. No.
Blushing, blushing, blushing.
this book is going to be so much fun with you.
God, I have so many questions when we ask her questions. Like, oh man.
Write them down. Please write them down.
I have so many questions.
Bet you do, freak.
That voice did things to her that she was not ready to acknowledge, at least not aloud. Don't do this, Sirius, she pleaded, glancing up at him, and then instantly back down, unable to hold her own against his stare. Sirius, however, forced the issue by placing a finger beneath her chin and lifted her face to meet his. Hermione closed her eyes to avoid looking up at him, tears trickling out of the corners. Can't avoid it forever, kitten. The boy was right about another thing. Whatever you did to bring me back changed something, he said softly, running the pad of his thumb against the line of her jaw. You're not the only one who's good at magic, Hermione. He leaned in close, pressing his stubble-covered cheek against her smooth one, brushing his lips against her ear.
Watching Kat's face in
Hermione's
this
breath
moment.
hitched in her throat at the
I'm
contact.
so mad we didn't have Zoom yet.
I know the life-debt ritual, he whispered before pulling away. Her eyes shot open wide. You know? You knew? This whole time?
The whole time? The whole time? The whole time!
It's not
Sorry,
work
Mrs.
magic,
Doubtfire is one of my
but what
favorite
you did
movies,
was
and I have to be extra
work
happy
magic,
right now,
which
otherwise.
in some families means the same thing.
Hi, Smeagol.
House of Black is no exception. He sat down in a large armchair facing her bed, kicking his foot up to rest on the opposite knee. We eventually have to talk about it. Hermione looked away from him. I don't even know what it means. By the end of this war,
Define the relationship. Define the relationship.
Define.
By the end of this war, we'll have a lot of talking to do. Let's make a date of it, shall we? Sirius grinned at her, and she turned her attention back to him with narrowed eyes. Your birthday, he suggested easily, as if the weight of the world no longer rested on their shoulders. My birthday? Why my birthday?
Fucking shicey.
Fine. The day
After your birthday.
he said with a smirk.
Knowing damn well he won't have to have
Finish
that
this
fucking
war. If we're
conversation.
lucky, a little recovery time after what might go down in the wizarding world as the night everyone was smashed. Why is the day after Hermione's birthday important to this podcast?
Absolutely no idea.
Hermione's birthday is September 19th. The day after her birthday is September 20th. September 20th is also the day that we premiered our first ever episode.
You chose that on purpose.
What? Did I?
Yeah, and watch the day that we finish this 3 years from now is going to be on Harry's birthday or something.
Actually, no, I think
It actually was. Oh my god, I didn't realize I said that. It was really close.
Nobody asked you, Mom.
The last episode
What kind of
we recorded in July.
If it ends in November, we could potentially end it on not Sirius's birthday if it falls on a Friday.
Come on, baby. Last
Also,
episode,
I'd like
let's
you to
go.
know that over the course of the 3 years that we film this, it will never fall on your birthday.
3 years.
It will fall on mine though.
Oh, wait, what?
Cheers. Oh yeah, I already mapped it out. Sorry.
Oh my god, that's right. We did the...
You're the one who, when you go on trips, you would make Excel sheets and price out everything, and I'm just like, oh god.
Well, I mean, think about it. Your birthday was on a Saturday.
10 January of this
You got
year.
married on it, so it would take.
I know, I
would
would
take
say
another few, like 5 or 6 years for your birthday to be on a Friday.
Okay, it was
Okay.
26 August, but I think we recorded it
Hermione frowned.
in July.
Or mourn.
So we did technically straddle Harry's birthday.
I'm done mourning. Had too much grief in my life, and I'll spend the rest of this war making sure that I never have to mourn it again, he vowed. His tone once again firm and fierce. The sound of it made Hermione shiver and blush. Sirius took immediate notice and chuckled, causing Hermione to avert her gaze once more. He stood up and reached for his jacket. One day, you won't do that anymore. Do what? Hermione asked quietly, as he made his way to the tent door. Be embarrassed about how I make you feel, he clarified, fixing a serious gaze upon her. Serious gaze.
Oh god. This is like some 50 Shades of Wizarding stuff right
Can we appreciate how fucking vanilla this is? And she's like...
I know, but it's gonna get there is what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna get down to, like, the whole, like... Yeah.
Very descriptive. Thank you.
Oh my god, so many questions for you, Shaylani. So many questions.
Is there like no menu for... Oh, there it is. Hold on a sec, guys. I'm gonna pause the pod real quick, and I'm gonna mute myself so that you guys don't have to hear this. You are welcome. She knew it was coming, but she still wasn't prepared. Audrey! Wait. Hold on. Oh my god, it's Audrey! Hi, baby! How are you? I love you so much. How is married life? How is Key West? Did I put you in the group where we're planning Kat's memorial? Actually, while I have you all here, all 7 of you, the Dark Wizard had lunch with Kat's parents the other day, and essentially a cat's butthole. Oh, yes. Okay, so that's a whole other conversation. We will discuss that later. But yes, she said that to me since I started smoking in 2014. That never stopped. That was always a thing. Okay. But hi Audrey, so happy to see you. She knew it was coming. She still wasn't prepared. Hi Claire, your episode with the Dark Wizard. Oh my god, yes. Okay, so yes, Squirrel. Dark Wizard sat down with Kat's parents. They're not ready for a memorial or a celebration of life or anything. They don't know if they ever will be, which frankly I kind of fucking understand. Especially because her mom was born in, I think, 1949. My parents were born in 52, and my parents are 73. Her mom is, I believe, 75, maybe just turned 76 this year. So the thought of them outliving Kat, I don't think ever fucking crossed their mind. Ever. And I'm just going to talk for a little bit without the pod on. Gonna get a little serious, and then I'll put the pod back on, I promise. So... Currently, we are looking at having a memorial celebration of life thing, second to last Saturday in February. Do I think any of you would be able to make it to fucking Key West for that? No. But I will be sharing it with the pod, and my plan is to live stream it. Because frankly, I know there's a lot of you that would make the time to be there or at least want to watch it after the fact. I really want to take you guys with me because my dog needs to go pee, but I don't know if this old phone will survive it. Um, it should last for like 5-10 minutes on video without dying. I'm gonna flip y'all around. Sup, nerds? All right, you're gonna. Oh, real quick, squirrel. So, cat made me. Focus. Cat made me that. She burned it. I would make the time to watch. So yes, the plant. Oh no, Audrey, I'm so sorry. We picked it because that was going to be the cheapest day for us to fly. Hannah Beth and I are both going to be there. That is not a question. We made a point to make sure that she would be able to do it. Okay, good. I was gonna say, like, if you have to go from a funeral to a birthday party, I'd feel really bad. Yes, I'm gonna go make my cat butthole face. You guys can fucking deal with it. She didn't want me to smoke. She shouldn't have died. And I'm in the process of coming off Effexor, which is the nastiest antidepressant to come off in ever. That's a big fucking bug. Holy fuck balls. I don't have a lighter. Anyway, hey, welcome to my home. But anyway, so we're going to do it that weekend. I promised her I'd give the eulogy if she ever died, so need to hold that up. And I don't know if we mentioned this on the pod or not, but her urn is, put it up. Oh no. Did we lose? Tell me you guys still have, can you still see me? Am I still here? Am I still streaming? Yes, Tyler, you are welcome. Literally any of the fans who want to be there, fuck it. Let's make her a goddamn celebrity with her funeral. All right, if you guys can still see me, drop a comment. How about now? Hey, no worries, Beth. Do what you need to do. We'll probably still be here. I'm gonna sit over here. I'll be able to read from here, I think. But anyway, so, yay. Thanks, Trina. How are you, babes? Oh, it's so good to see you. Love seeing fans, and like I see you and I recognize your name and your face, and my boob look really good in a sports bra. Wow. This is going on the internet, Claire. This is why I can never run for political office. Also, please appreciate that my husband and I are both trying to quit smoking, so naturally, we just got an ashtray, which I have resisted getting forever because I was like, we're all gonna quit. Shut the fuck up, Audrey. Again, if she didn't want me to smoke, maybe she shouldn't have fucking died. And I had a chest x-ray the other day, and you know what they said? Are you sure you're a smoker? There's no sign of damage in here. And it's been 11 years since I had my first cigarette. Granted, there were a lot of years that... Oh, you're in the UK? Oh, that's awesome. What kind of dog? Very important question. What kind of dog? Actually, have you guys ever seen Max? Oh, wait, that's not his. Come hither. Bust boobs in a sports bra comment. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Hey, that's okay. No, the comments are a little delayed. That's fine. I am excited though. Oop, wait, no, I missed one. Come back. There needs to be a way to like fucking pin these. I think I mentioned this last time. My sister texted me and was like, hey, did you know our cousin Kyle lives in Clarksville? And I was like, that's weird. Kyle being my second cousin, so my mom and his dad are cousins. My mom, eldest of 7, her aunt also had 7. They all lived in the same town, very, very close. All 14 of them, those that stayed in New York, the second generation, were all super close to each other. So my cousin Doug, Uncle Doug, I call him Uncle Doug, he's my cousin, whatever. Uncle Doug's kid, Kyle, who is 4 years my junior, lives here in town, and his son was born the day before James's first birthday. And so, and get this, His name's Vincent. So James has my cousin Vinny. It makes me so happy. But yeah, the boys get along really well, which is good. But yeah, so if I go to Key West, because of all my seizure stuff, I can't really travel solo. But I really want to bring James. He will not be at the memorial. Obviously, I need to be able to do my thing. Actually, you know what? I might. I wasn't going to, but with it, if it had been fresh, I probably wouldn't have brought him. But I've seen Max, but he doesn't look like my brain thinks he looks from listening. But no, I might bring him. I think I went to my first funeral when I was like 5. And then I went to my grandmother's at like 8. I do remember sobbing uncontrollably at Aunt Charlotte's funeral. People looking at me and being like, I thought we were supposed to do this with these things. And my mom's like, it's fine, do your thing. But I think the first memorial I went to, I didn't go to the memorial. They had the kids separate. A little girl named Carol Gergerocht passed away. She was playing hide and seek. She hid in the garage, and hurricane shutters fell on top of her. And they did everything they could, but they could not save her. And she was in my preschool class. And also, Patrina. Am I saying that right? Anyway, sounds like a very cute dog. Very excited to see pictures. You should definitely post that in the group. But after Carol's funeral, her dad sat down with all the kids. Or actually, we're on the beach. And he pointed at the ocean, because there's just ocean. There's nothing on the horizon. And he said, you see that horizon? Yeah. And he goes, Carol is just on the other side of that. And one day I'll join her. And that has stuck with me my entire life. And like I've said, I am certain Kat is fucking haunting me. There's too much happening for her not to be. My sister is going through hell on multiple different fronts right now. And Kat was the biggest cheerleader, wanting to know what happened, wanted to know who we were going to be mad at, who we were cursing that day. It was incredibly supportive, being surprised that my former brother-in-law was suddenly the hero in a story, which is just very weird, but also makes me happy because I always really did like him, even with the way everything ended. He's just an excellent co-parent, and as far as ex-spouses go, he's pretty great. Maxwell, want to get carrot? Guess not. But everything has started to go my sister's way and work and happen the way it should be, and the wheels of justice move slowly but truly. Okay, Trina. I feel so special. But yeah, no, things just seem to be... Oh. You're live. Okay, good. I did disconnect. I'm back. I'm here. I promise. We're not going to finish it. I'll leave it. I'll finish it later. Waste not, want not. Maxwell! All right? He's such a little sun king. All right, I'm going to head back downstairs and keep listening. And if we hear scratching at the door, we will get the puppy. Also, I do not show my kid on Facebook for obvious reasons, but I will show this really cute picture of him as a baby. Look at the baby. He's so cute. Also, if you are not okay with hunting, maybe just close your eyes for this next bit. My husband is a hunter, and for the first time, he usually just get does because we want to eat them. That's the whole purpose. You can eat bucks. They're just a little bit tougher. This one was a little young, but, well, not really. But yeah, anyway, so this is, I named him Harry, and people generally assume it's because Harry's Patronus was a stag, right? For those of you not familiar with American modern history, Dick Cheney, former vice president to George W. Bush, shot somebody while hunting. And that gentleman then apologized to the vice president for being in a position to get shot by him. And his name was Harry. So it is named after the man that Dick Cheney shot, who then apologized for getting shot. And it makes me giggle. Okay. Yeah, so the January 21st, I think it is, it's the second to last Saturday. That is firm. Okay. Yay! Abby! Okay, everybody. Abby Barrett, who, not January, sorry, February 21. Thank you, Audrey. Guys, Abby is one of the OGs. Abby, Kat, and I were the three besties in preschool together at the Key West Co-op. We all got traumatized by the same boy. His name was Christian Hart. He was my boyfriend. Yeah, I had terrible taste in men. But then he called me a stupid head, so I broke up with him. And that same day, or around the same time, hold on, I'm going to plug this in, hope it's not loud. Around the same time, he did the Heimlich on Abby and pulled out Kat's tooth, or pulled out Kat's tooth and did the Heimlich on Abby. I don't know what it was, but we were all very traumatized by him. Also, please appreciate that there were only 2 boys in our class, which looking back was a little weird. Like, why were there so few boys in our preschool class? But they were Christian and James Richardson. And please appreciate that my son is named after the preschool crush. And now my son is the one that all the girls have like the crush on. And I'm like, also somebody the other day was like, is your son Heimlich on Kat? Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, which also, you lost a fucking tooth in preschool. There's a little girl in James's class who's missing 2 of her teeth. And I'm like, do teeth fall out in preschool usually? Yeah, no. Also, whatever he did worked though, because for not having braces, Abby has the straightest, whitest teeth I have ever seen in my goddamn life. And I don't mean like of people who didn't have braces or whitening treatments, just like out of anyone I know, she has the straightest teeth, whereas mine are like, this one's higher than this one, but I ground them down, and this one's like chipped now because I grind my teeth so bad because my best friend died, and this one's not pulled up all the way, and I had braces. Anyway, let's get back to the podcast. That's crazy. But also, Jackson's smile cracks me up, man. Abby's dad called her son Buck. And then when he got in his big boy teeth, because they came out they were so big on him. Oh, whatever. You were still like unfairly beautiful. It is not even a little bit fair. But no, Buck had like the biggest buck teeth I've ever seen on a child. But like, it was so cute. And now he's growing into them. He looks so grown up and I'm not okay with it. But anyway, I'm going to flip this around and we're going to go back to listening to the podcast. And hopefully I will stop fucking crying all the time. Just kidding. Plot twist. I'm still going to cry.
Darren ducked out of the tent, jacket and a pack of cigarettes in hand.
Hey.
Do I want to know? Harry asked as Sirius approached him
Oh,
from behind.
we're done.
A lit cigarette hung from Sirius's lips as he slipped his leather jacket on. He took the stick in hand and exhaled, letting the smoke drift off with the wind. Nice charm, he commented, noticing how the rain poured around them, never touching the dry circle Harry had created. Sirius smiled in reminiscence. Your mum was always good at charms like this. Avoiding the question foot, Harry countered, using Sirius's marauder name in a tone that made him sound exactly like James. Sirius laughed softly.
That was too complicated.
Taking another drag from his cigarette. I know what you're doing, you know. You figured me and Remus out easily. You figured out that when you want information, calling us Mooney and Padfoot in that voice makes us think of your dad. Which it does, he affirmed. And when you want to impose your opinion, you make eye contact, which reminds us of Lily. Harry cocked his head to the side and folded his arms across his chest, an amused grin on his jaw. I guess Mum had a way of being convincing. Your grandmother, Doria, would have loved you. Sirius let out a quiet laugh. She and Charles, your grandfather, almost made a game of hiding information when they wanted to. Alright, quick pause. So I don't know entirely how this worked, but there was a period of time where it came out that James Potter's parents were Doria and Charles Potter. Then
Did we ever figure
somewhere
out why
along the
this
line,
switched?
something changed, and I don't know if it was
Fleamont.
Pottermore or what, but it was released
Fleamont.
that James's parents' names were Euphemia and Fleamont. And if those aren't the most horrendous names you can think of, so bad. So, a number of fan fiction authors have opted to go with the original names of Charles and Doria because those are nice and pleasant and aristocratic sounding without being as horribly study as Euphemia and
Fleamont. Although I do kind of want to name a cat Fleamont. That just seems like it would be funny. Also, I really want a cat.
I have a question.
Sorry, Max.
I potentially have an answer.
Okay, so apparently there are two different names for his grandparents. Now, a two-part question. So my first question is,
not again.
did the people who write fiction make these up? Or did she come out and say, because I wrote this stuff, this is what it is? And if she didn't, like, do you think she'll ever comment on which one is correct?
So I'm actually gonna look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, so like on the Harry
I
Potter
like
wiki,
Charles. Euphemia, I think Euphemia's grown on me, but probably just because of how many
Charles
kids have like
and,
older gen
Harry
names
Potter
now.
wiki has Charles and Doria as Harry Potter's grandparents. There was some. Was the father of James Potter and the paternal grandfather of Harry Potter. Later, Pottermore, Fleamont Potter, not Charles, is Harry's grandfather. In spite of this, it is still more than likely that Charles was an uncle or a cousin of James.
But where the fuck
Charles
did the
and
name
Doria were
come
on the
from?
Black family tapestry, so everyone assumed that Charles and
that's
Doria
why.
were going to be Harry's parents, but then Pottermore came out and said it was Fleamont and Euphemia, and a lot of the fans just decided to
Yeah,
ignore
it's
that
grown on
because
me.
those are
I
terrible
don't.
names.
Now that you've said it, I'm like Euphemia. Actually, that's not bad. But
Okay, but who came up with these names? The fan fiction people? Did J.K. like come up with these?
They were on the Black
is the
family
question, Kat.
tapestry. So I think.
Oh, so in the movie or in the book, it was
Yes.
on there. Okay, got it.
Yeah, sorry, I was like trying to talk and read at the same time.
both Kat. Both. Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Okay, so like obviously whatever's in the book should probably be the correct one because she wrote this stuff.
But I don't think
and that
any of
should
them were
probably
in the
be,
book.
like,
That's why it's
what
weird.
is it? The word is canon.
Yes.
Is that what
Yes,
the word
but
is?
Doria
Oh,
and Charles
This was when she
canon
started picking up on like proper
because
terminology. I was
a
so
lot
proud.
of members of the Harry Potter community have
I almost said Communiverse,
gotten almost fed up with a lot
which
of
I'm pretty sure is
the
from
post
Elio,
information
the new
where
Pixar movie,
after the series
which is
wrapped
super
up, now
cute.
all of a sudden
Also,
Joe
my kid now
Rowling's
goes
coming
around
out with,
saying,
but this
"I'm a
was actually
bargaining
that,
chip,"
and that was
which
actually
just
this, and blah, blah,
freaks
blah, blah,
people.
blah. And so a lot of the fans have just flipped the bird to her and substituted their own reality.
As we do.
That's interesting.
It was
Like,
so
definitely a
cute and
horror
like
or
so
something like that,
wholesome
where the fans
and
essentially
fan.
claim the content and ignore the author because they've decided the author is overstepping.
Okay.
With their own.
I have another question. I wonder if the names, the ones that nobody likes, I wonder if those are like some kind of like old school traditional like English names.
I've never been a
something.
bargaining chip
They are. Like
before.
I know, I've heard of
They
somebody
are.
named Euphemia before. I think it was a nun, Sister Euphemia.
Yeah, actually, that is
Fleamont,
good
I don't
job,
know.
me. That
I
Sister
hope nobody
Euphemia
ever
was
named
at
their
the
child that,
Basilica.
but we also had a president named Millard Fillmore, so clearly people
Came out of the porta potty.
subpar.
Dead.
Yeah, it's kind of like in.
It's funny. I
We gave him
think
something he could
there
live
was
with.
like an inkling that she was kind of being a POS at this point in the world, but like she hadn't fully come out as like a
She and
garbage
Charles,
human yet.
grandfather, almost made a game
Oh.
of hiding information when they wanted to. She'd always win. Drove your dad and me mental. Harry grew quiet for a moment, his focus far away until he brought his attention back to Sirius. The amused boy was gone once again, replaced by a burdened soldier of war. I think I want to
Burdened
go to
soldier
Godric's
of
Hollow.
war.
There was a beat of silence as Sirius thought about it for a moment, knowing that Harry was likely to go on his own, regardless of what anyone else said about the matter. Eventually, he sent in resignation. Consider it done.
Oh. Dang, oh yeah, that's right, we didn't, I think we had to like hop off because Jimmy got home or the dog had to pee or whatever conversation we had at the end just wasn't on brand, so unless
Today is not, but by the time this airs, today will be the day after Halloween. So happy All Saints Day, I believe, which means tomorrow is Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos. Yeah, so she came out with him being gay to explain why he sided with Grindelwald. Because if he was gay, then it makes sense why he was a Nazi sympathizer. That's probably gonna get me fucked on YouTube.
For
Oh
our
well.
podcast is that I got an email saying that we are ranked on Apple Podcasts.
Whoop,
We are
whoop.
number 156 of all drama podcasts, which is not an impressive number, but it's a number. and
Okay, it
not
is an
four
impressive number.
digits,
Shut the
and
fuck
it
up,
is
Claire.
in the top 200. So, like, granted, I don't know how many drama podcasts there are. There may only be 106. But we now have a goal. We want to get into the digits. So,
That never happened.
as always, tell your friends about us. We love when new people listen.
Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your cousin,
Hide your
tell
kids,
your
hide
dog,
your
tell
wife.
anybody. You know what I found online today, which I don't understand why it's a thing?
What?
I found a sheet mask for your
That?
butt,
Oh, I saw that.
and it's literally shaped like a butt. And I'm like,
Hey,
who wants this besides a stripper who has to show her butt to the world? Like, what person is like, I want my butt to be like
okay, as somebody who's
softer
dealing
and
with
smoother,
a
just
bump
so
on
we
my
can
butt
sit
from where
everywhere.
a certain pair of underwear rubbed weird, I would
watched
actually
Barry
like
Met Sally last
a
night.
butt
I like
chill.
that movie so much more now.
facial for your butt, butt face mask,
Sorry.
sheet mask,
I'll have it.
Grindy boy.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about Grindy Boys for a second. I was like,
Okay, can
huh?
I read that or say what? Okay,
Can I read now? I really have to pee.
okay,
Always.
what am I doing?
Oh god, yeah, this was before we had everything pre-recorded too. Thank God for Hannah Beth. She was like, yeah, you guys should just pre-record all this shit. Grindelwald, yeah, Grindelwald. Grindelv or W-A-L-D? Grindelwald? Rather than Wold?
You can find us on Instagram at Firewhisky and Honey Podcast.
That-
No E in whiskey.
Oh
And on
shit.
Twitter, FWH
H pod.
If
I
you enjoy
don't
this podcast
have
and would
access
like
to that
support
Twitter
extra
anymore.
content, please support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Firewhisky and Honey. No E in whiskey.
Thank you to all those who support us already, and we wouldn't be here without any of you.
Thank you to our production supporters. These are our Foxes, Carissa Horton, Kelsey Malilo, Ren Oliver, Elise Wolfson, Krista Swearing, and Sophie Segator, Amanda Quick, Jillian Fools, Martina Tomlinson, Ashley Enstrom, Claire Luciano, and a big thank you to our first ever dog supporter, Carly Kabayama. I
Yeah,
really hope I didn't destroy that name.
I did.
That's really fun to say, Kabayama. It's a lot of A's. It's like Bananarama.
Okay. See you next Fire Whiskey Friday.
And this was before I was diagnosed ADHD. Oh yeah, I did try to
Say
do this.
goodnight, Gracie.
Good.
Everybody, let it be known that the reason you didn't get a goodnight, Gracie, is because Cat hates you.
I guess I was trying to make it a
No,
thing.
I'm done with that.
I'm done with that.
Say hasta la pasta, nerds.
Hasta la pasta, nerds!
Hasta la Pasta Nerds would have been a good one to hang on to. You know what? I'm feeling frisky. I might just keep going. Does this take us to the right episode this time?
Have you ever wished that your
Pretty
world
sure this
had
is just
more
making me-
magic?
God, that scared me. Or your favorite character had survived.
Oh yeah, no, this is okay. This is
What a
1.8.
boring spin-off of your favorite childhood
No,
series.
fuck it. I might just keep going.
But do we have a podcast for you?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Claire.
And I'm Kat.
And this is Firewhisky and Honey,
All right,
a
hold on.
podcast about your favorite
Hold on.
novel-length.
All right. Nance Dumbledore's gay. Knew much about him. Grindelwald. It's weird to be hearing this through my earpods and not be able to audibly reply. You should. Yes, you should.
Harry Potter fan fiction.
The Dead of Time.
Each episode,
See, The
we read
Dead
a
of
chapter
Time.
This story.
But then she changed it later to
For
The
language
Debt of
adults
Time. And I'm like,
age-
no!
So listen with headphones.
She could not figure out how to get it back.
Without further ado, here's our
Oh,
recap
right,
of
crap.
last
I wanted to
week's
do that where
chapter
it was,
of
what?
The Debt of Time.
Oh, why did I say it like that?
First off, I just want to say I love that you always say situations instead of situations.
Well,
Is that like a New Jersey thing?
no,
Or is that just a funny thing?
I'm just cool like that. That's how cool people say it.
No,
Cool
no,
people
don't
also
you
call
do it.
water
Audrey, I'll start.
Yes, because that's the correct pronunciation. And I don't know why Jimmy doesn't say it. He's not a real New Jersey person that, like, he can just GTFO.
Situations.
No, he just
Last
GTLs.
episode was the first time she actually. No, last episode. So 1.7 is when she says what had happened was for the
Okay.
first time.
Anyway,
1.6 is when she
What?
says situations for the
Jim
first
can
time.
laundry, New Jersey, sure. What is wrong with you? Jesus. Okay. Last episode,
Mm.
I
chapter
never
7.
watched the Jersey Shore because I have better taste than that. Oh.
Says the girl who watched every episode of the
I love
Kardashians.
you. This is why we're friends.
No judgment, Addie.
Anyway,
I know you
last
did.
chapter was chapter 7, Terrible Watchdog.
You should have heard me the first time. She said, "I love you too."
For those of you listening,
Broke
it
me.
has only been a week for you, but it's been 2 weeks for Kat and I since the last time we did this because I went on my honeymoon. I'm not sorry.
Something
Atta girl.
happened, and then I was speechless, and then some more stuff happened, and
I was speechless
Yeah.
again.
And you blushed so hard we could hear it.
what if it sounds like?
Like you.
Have you listened to episode 7?
No.
Okay, first off, you're a bad co-host. Number 2, I'm kidding. Number 3,
Number 3. I'm kidding. I
last
immediately was like,
episode
"Oh, that's
started
mean."
with them getting to Grimmauld Place and figuring out who R.A.B. was, and Sirius got all like moody and shit because he didn't want to think that his brother was a good guy.
Oh yeah, and then like there was
I have
that
too much
book
shit on my
thing, and
desk.
Harry asked questions, and he took the page out of it because he didn't want him to know, which I thought was super sketch.
Which I found super sketchy.
Yes, the family genealogy of the.
Thing.
Oh God, I can hear all the fans yelling at me. It's not the pure 28, Sacred 28. Sacred 28 is the 28 founding wizarding families that are pure-blooded. Potters used to be part of it, but clearly, you know, kind of ruined that when he married Lily. But Sirius vanished out.
Also,
the
Audrey, I don't know if
Potter
I've
page
ever
and
told
said
you
that
this,
his mother
but my
moved out
first
years
memory
ago
of you
and
sitting
Potters. What else
at
happened?
a assembly at Key West High School, and you were cussing so much, and I was just like, "Who is this girl?" Because you got really all I knew about you until
jumped right
you and
into
Kat.
things.
It just makes me laugh because I remember my first impression of you was like,
and then they
pretty.
had Grimmauld Place, but the same thing that happened in the movies happened in this, where somebody grabbed onto them and got apparated the top step, which means they can now see Grimmauld Place, which means it is no longer a safe place. So Sirius,
"Yes."
I believe, is the one who side along apparated them. Oh, Hermione did it. Hermione apparated all 3 of
Yeah.
them to the Quidditch World Cup area where it took place years ago, and in doing so got splinged. Ringing a bell?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay, so Sirius was super protective of her, wouldn't let her wear the Horcrux, wanted her to heal up, was essentially pretty much in dog mode the entire time. And then the whole thing
Also, I really want to
with
do
Ron
my
being
honeymoon
horny and wanting to
with
go
my
home
kid.
happened,
Well, not the
and he
Vegas part,
left,
just the
and,
San Francisco Zoo part.
and the big thing that happened.
Oh, I like how I
for
didn't mention the fact
Sirius
that
and
we
Hermione
slept through our
was
flight
that
home. Because we
Ron
got
was
back to the
like,
room and it was
"You're
like
not even just
1:30
here
and we're
for
like, we have to
me, you're
leave
not here
at
for
4 to
Harry,
get to the
you're here
airport.
for Sirius."
We should just
And
stay awake.
Sirius told her that something had changed.
Plot twist,
because of
twist.
the
We did not stay
articles
awake.
he told
We
her
had to get a
that he knew that she'd
frontier
done the
flight
Left ritual.
home.
And
So bad. So bad.
and then at the very end, Harry said that he wanted to go to Godric's Hollow.
Okay then.
And so I'm pretty sure I've chopped all my
What
hair off
happened at Godric's
at this
Hollow?
point, too.
Magic.
Snake and a lady.
Snake and a lady.
That's a fun fact.
You know that.
Snake.
Oh,
and
okay. I
lady.
did make the joke. I was like, did I make a joke?
Little
there?
old lady
Not the fun
walking
kind.
around, doesn't say anything because she can only speak in snake language because she's actually dead and the genie is hiding inside of her.
Oh, okay.
I have no memory of
I
this.
kinda do now.
Yeah, the graveyard where Harry's parents are. Alright, so, Chapter 8. December 26th, 1997. Happy Christmas, Sirius. With a sad smile, Hermione entered the room from the tent's kitchen. The wizard was currently resting on a large bed with a bandage wrapped around his arm. Sirius scowled at her. Christmas was yesterday. Yes, but you were unconscious yesterday, Hermione explained, holding a small cup out to him. And I brought you tea. Consider it my gift. She smiled as he took it, bringing the liquid to his lips, pausing only briefly to look up at her. She rolled her eyes, trying to look offended. It's not laced with anything. He narrowed his eyes. Can you understand my hesitance? I maintained that I was doing the right thing, slipping that sleeping draught in your tea.
Draft.
Hermione crossed her
Draft,
arms
Claire.
firmly across her
Not
chest.
drought.
You were
Draft.
exhausted and refusing to take care of yourself. Sirius winked at her. And it's your job to take care of me? Stop that. Drink your bloody tea.
Ew.
She swears now, he said with a grin. I'm starting to think I'm a bad influence on you.
You think?
Drink the bloody tea, Sirius. Hermione scowled, but dropped her anger a notch when she saw him obey. Sirius held the empty cup out to her, going so far as to open his mouth like a child to prove that he had swallowed every drop. Feel better?
The image that
He stared up
brings
at her
to my
with a
head
knowing
is
look and
so
smiled.
wildly inappropriate.
Yes, but you could have just asked me to take a pain relief potion. You're a shit liar, love. Hermione flushed at the implied accusation. Well, I never know when you're going to fight me over something. She fell into the armchair, perturbed. You always want to argue with me. That's because
Yes.
riling you up is fun. She frowned. I don't like fighting with you. You will. He smiled and caught her look of annoyance. Before she could counter, he cut her off. Harry doing all right? Yes, he's got my wand, she said. He's been out there for a few hours. Still can't believe we lost 2 wands in that fight. 1 bloody snake. The trip to Godric's Hollow had been less than successful. A trap. They'd figured out there would be a trap, but a snake hidden in... they figured there would be a trap, but a snake hidden inside of an old woman? That they hadn't seen coming.
No. Yeah.
So I need to figure out a way to do like flashbacks because they're in italics, but clearly I can't talk in italics. So we're just gonna do like a shh.
Or you could pull a Russell Brand. When I scream, that means it's in capitals.
When I emphasize it with volume, that means it's in capitals.
I hate that I had to correct her, but it was going to bug me.
God, that's...
And then everybody who's listening to this is like, what?
Okay, guys, if you haven't heard Russell Brand read his death threats, do it. It is hilarious.
But listen
Alright.
to us first and then do that.
Yeah. Keep listening to the episode, and then go listen to Russell Brand. All right,
Who's
so
now also a
we're going into a
shit
flashback.
human being. This is why when I get my book
Sirius,
sleeve,
of course, knew right away that
any
something was
modern
off, and
authors
pleaded
are
with
just
Harry
getting
and
like
Hermione to
a
leave.
nod,
When they
not
both
an
refused,
explicit
he
like
insisted,
quote
"Take
or
hold of
anything
each of them
because
and
I don't trust
to
them to not
separate
turn
out."
into pieces
After
of
visiting
shit.
the cemetery, it was clear that Sirius was serious about his threats. Harry and Hermione agreed, and only then did the snake attack, right there in the middle of the street. Death Eaters operated in, and a duel broke out. Sirius squaring off against Dolohov and Roll, while Hermione faced McNair.
Wow.
Harry, by himself, was left with the snake. It slithered around the street, striking at him nimbly and repeatedly. Hermione easily bested McNair, stunning him to the ground. She rushed to help Sirius, who looked like he was taking particular pleasure in landing curses on Dolohov. As she did so, Raoul stepped into her path. Quick pause. Dolohov is the one who, oh god, they don't do a good enough job of this in the movie. During the Ministry battle in
Oh yeah, they totally cut this out of the books. I always
5,
forgot.
when Sirius dies, Hermione is hit with a super nasty curse. She's being attacked by the Death Eaters. Dolohov comes at her, and he goes to cast curses at them, but she silences him, so he's forced to cast everything non-verbally, which in the Harry Potter magic world means that it's less powerful. So Dolohov still manages to curse her, but she survives, but it's still super hard because it was a really, 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 really bad injury. So Sirius is attacking the crap out of Dolohov. Hermione easily bested McNair, stunning him to the ground. She rushed to help Sirius, who looked like he was taking particular pleasure in landing curses on Dolohov. As she did so, Raoul stepped into her path. The Death Eaters attacked the two fiercely, and when they were both distracted by a shout from Harry, Dolohov aimed his wand at Hermione. That was apparently enough to snap what little restraint Sirius had left, and a bright green light burst from the end of his wand, hitting Dolohov in the chest and dropping him to the ground. What does a green light mean?
Feeling great. Great Gatsby.
Great literary comparison, but wrong.
I am still impressed that she
spells are red. The
Also, fun fact, I've never read Gatsby.
So it's kind of like in Star Wars how the lightsabers mean different.
I'm so proud of how nerdy you're being. Hitting Dolohov in the chest and dropping him to the ground, still and silent forever. Despite the horror of the scene, Hermione could not help but feel that justice had been served. After all, this was Death Eater responsible for almost killing her in the Department of Mysteries.
Take that,
"He's
bitch.
coming!" Harry screamed, and Sirius and Hermione rushed to him. Sirius took hold of Harry's arm and pulled him quickly to his feet, throwing curse after curse at the snake. Nagini, however, dodged and deflected every spell with precision and speed that none of them were prepared. "More are coming!" Hermione shrieked as Death Eaters began apparating around them.
Tuning out and
Harry
then
let
tuning
out
back into
loud
that is just
yell,
a very
grasping at the
weird.
scar on his forehead. A newly arrived Death Eater used the diversion to disarm Sirius. "Shit!" he yelled, at the same time that Harry let out a loud yelp of pain, his body falling rigid into Sirius's arms. "Hermione, we've got to get out of here." "Hold on!" she shouted, grabbing them both, and disapparated away just in time. Unfortunately, the landing was less than graceful, and Harry pitched forward, snapping his wand into pieces, thus leaving one working wand between the three of them.
And yes, that is the flashback sound. For those of you who...
"You can do wandless magic," Hermione sighed as she looked over at Sirius, sitting on the bed, still recovering from the splinching that had marred him during their last escape. She'd felt terrible, of course. Thankfully, it was not as bad as her splinching had been. She and Sirius argued passionately over whether or not he should be treating the wound himself, but in the end, he gave up, though only after Hermione threatened to stun him to submission. It's not that hard when you have the right focus," Sirius insisted.
Also, you guys should know this
How'd you
podcast
get so good
permanently
at it?
lowered my
It's not
voice.
something they teach much at Hogwarts. She pulled her knees to her chest, cuddled
She
back
pulled
into
her
the
knees to her
chair,
chest.
and
Yeah,
pulled a
that's
blanket over herself,
higher pitched
wishing
than
she
I
had
talk
her
now.
wand to cast a warming charm on the tent. "Friend at school who taught me," Sirius smiled. "Very powerful witch." Hermione chuckled. "Why am I not surprised it was a girl?" "Because I'm so devastatingly handsome?" Sirius grinned. She shook her head, not taking the bait. "I'm not stroking your ego." "Well, if not my ego, then would you like to..." "Don't finish that sentence." Sirius let out a barking laugh. That everyone, that is what blushing sounds like.
God.
Not me having flashbacks to the time that Kat asked me how
Finish
to...
that sentence.
You know what? No, I'm not going to tell that
Sirius let
story.
out a
This is
barking
going on
laugh. It's so
the
easy to
public
get you
internet.
riled
This is
up.
not a Patreon
Very
episode. Never
endearing.
mind.
"Hermione, Sirius," Harry called as he entered the tent, soaking wet and shivering. "What happened?" "Exactly, what happened?"
He's soaking wet and shivering. He himself?
He himself.
Think about it. Harry Potter, movie number 7. What does Harry do
No
that causes
idea.
him to get dripping wet in the middle of December? It's almost like he's fully submerged in water. Almost like he broke through the ice and dived into a pond. Dove into a pond.
Dived into
Yeah,
Jesus
I don't
Christ,
remember.
woman, when he goes to get the sword of... We're fighting.
What?
Hermione stood up quickly and rushed to him. Harry, what happened? She reclaimed her wand from him to perform a drying spell before shoving him into the nearest chair. Then she grabbed a blanket and hastily draped it over him. Are you all right? Where have you been? You were supposed to have been keeping watch. It's okay. Everything's fine. More than fine. I'm great. There's someone here. What do you mean? Who? Hermione looked up and watched as Ron walked into the tent, standing there holding a sword and dripping onto the threadbare carpet. You! She growled, throwing her wand onto a nearby chair. She fisted her hands tightly and ran at him, punching every inch of him she could. You are a complete arse, Ronald Weasley! I know, I'm sorry! He shouted, trying to He shouted, trying to protect himself from her punches. Oh, you're sorry, are you? Yes, Ron said calmly. I was a right git. You were right. I'm sorry for what I said. He looked up and caught sight of Sirius sitting on the edge of the large bed in the corner. I'm sorry, he said to Sirius, who had narrowed his gaze. After a long moment, the man nodded. Apology not accepted, Hermione yelled and reached for her wand. Hermione, Harry said, drawing her attention and sighing. He just saved my life. What? Sirius stood up. Why did he need to? Were the words breached? No, I saw something. What did you see? Sirius inquired, stepping forward and taking possession of Hermione's wand before she ended up cursing Ron with something permanent.
That's one of my favorite scenes in the movies, is when it's like, Harry, give me my wand, and he's like,
Sirius's face paled. What did you say? A doe, Harry repeated. It led me to a small frozen pond. I lit Hermione's wand and looked down, and I saw it. Harry gestured to the sword on his hand and grinned. We've now. More? Temper finally calming. Ron beamed at her apparently. He held up the locket, broken and black. She snatched it from him and turned it over for a careful examination. And you're sure it's gone? Pretty damn, Harry chuckled, nervously running his fingers through his newly dried hair. It fought back when I opened it. Ron stabbed it with a sword. Good redemption, Sirius commented, glancing between Ron and Hermione carefully. How'd it fight back? Ron looked down shamefully. I'd rather not talk about it. Do you remember what happened?
No.
I do know that Rupert Grint wasn't allowed to be on set when it happened because he couldn't stop laughing.
Locket tries to, choke him out while he's doing it. Ron ends up jumping in, pulling Harry out, jumping in again, grabbing the sword, coming out. They go to open the locket and go to hit it. And out of the locket comes two silver figures. One's Harry, one's Hermione. Ringing a bell? They start kissing.
Wow, what?
Well, listeners, it looks like Kat has some more homework to do this weekend, and it involves watching Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Well, I don't usually watch the 7th Part 1 and 2 very much because, it makes me sad, and also some of this stuff freaks me out, and I don't like that Dobby has to die.
Well, lucky for you, this part happens before Dobby dies, so you can just turn the movie off before that happens.
Yeah, because, I'm weird like that. Like, in Love Actually, where What's-Her-Face finally gets the hot dude to her apartment, I always have to
Oh, God, I hate that scene.
I can't watch it. It hurts
so
me.
awkward. I'm just no. Okay.
It
hurts.
My favorite part about listening to this and commenting on things out loud is how often I end up saying the exact same thing during the pod.
Harry Potter. So anyway,
this is before we had the Dead of Time.
The Horcrux. He sees Hermione and Harry kissing and saying that they're happier without him, and because that's Horcruxes latch on to what you're afraid of. Anyway,
can you imagine if those things existed in real life? How many I would have of all the fears that I have. Oh God.
Okay, I think you're thinking of a boggart. I really hope you wouldn't run into a Horcrux, because those are... You have to murder somebody, and then when you murder someone, it fragments your soul, and then you take that piece of your soul and you put it into an inanimate or an animate object, and then you can't die.
I don't want to die, so that's fine with me.
Listeners, I would like to say that Kat basically just alluded to the fact that she'd be willing to murder to stay alive forever.
Well, I want to live forever like I'm fame, so...
She's a murderer.
Well, you're the one I would call to hide the body in the carpet, so... Accessory.
Dear Mr. FBI, NSA, CIA, whatever agent, I would never do that. I would call the police. Just saying. Moving on.
So they kissed. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Ron looked down shamefully. I'd rather not talk about it. Wait, how'd you get the sword? You said it was in a frozen pond? Hermione asked. When Harry flushed and avoided her gaze, her mouth fell open. Oh no, Harry, you didn't! I did. Stupid, I know. Especially since the locket was still around my neck. It tried to drown me. Sirius rounded on Harry. What? Ron saved me, dove in after me, pulled me out, and went back down for the sword. So, can we all just move on now? Harry asked, exhaustion dimming his eyes. Sirius gave a curt nod, but Hermione was still eyeing Ron distrustfully. Please, Hermione. Fine, she agreed, glaring at the redhead, contemplating the exact movements of Ginny's bat bogey hex, just in case he said or did something else to rile her.
All right,
But
quick pause because I'm reading through all of these. So, all right. Yes, I will make sure I will tag you, Tyler, when we get to Cat singing. Yes, the first psh, 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 psh. No, I didn't read it for school because if you remember, I was homeschooled. I only went to Key West High. Ironically, I did go to Key West High for English, but because I wasn't gifted in middle school, I started with Great Books with Miss McLean, and then AP English with her, then AP Literature with Fant, and then Contemporary Literature with Fant, and none of that included reading Gatsby. I also never read Romeo and Juliet. Oh yeah, I can feel you guys hugging. Okay, hold on, I gotta scroll back up. All right, junior year English honors. Then again, that was Miss Gaston. I did like McLean. Also, the thing I'm teasing you with. Let's just say I used a popsicle to explain how to properly administer section. I'm a married woman. Okay, and yeah, if you want to go ahead and re-rec that book that I would like, actually just shoot it to me on TikTok. I'll read it eventually. Anyway, but yes, also, I know I've told this story a bajillion times, but it never ceases to crack me up that Kat did something for the first time ever, kicked him out the house, threw her clothes, threw her sheets in the washing machine, and then came out to have dessert with me at a restaurant, ironically named Better Than Sex, because it was their last night open at their old location. Girl, no. Oh, that's terrible. I once had a guy accuse me of peeing my pants because I was excited to see him. And he did not know that that was a positive sign and was concerned about the fact that I was really glad I did not lose my virginity to that. Although, ironically, I'm pretty sure I took his virginity years later. And just based on what I know of him as a human being, I'm fairly certain that was the only time he had ever done that. And also, he invited me to prom. I dropped over $100 on the dress when I could not afford it and had it altered. And then he informed me he wanted to get laid on prom night, so he would not be taking me. It was junior year. So I went with somebody else. He ironically took Rachel Walker, who I know for a fact did not have sex with him that night. I went on to date his best friend, lose my virginity to him, and then fast forward years later, after his friend and I, you will not get annoying on DM. I will take a while to open it. I have one friend, by the time I open her stuff, usually I've got like 99 messages from her, but I do go through every single one. So it's not that you will be annoying. I just take a bit to do things. I've also been trying to be on social media a bit less. But anyway, so when finally I encountered this gentleman in college and we decided to take that step, which I'm pretty sure we just took because I was very lonely and probably depressed. The greatest revenge I think I've ever taken in my life was getting to say, "Oh, you're hard? And is it in?" I did not say this part out loud. I didn't know they came that small. It's kind of like a Crayola marker cap. It just... Look, worst sex of my life. He was a shit human being anyway. And again, he invited me to prom. I dropped probably $200 on this dress when I could not afford it because my dad had just lost his job. And I was literally the only person in my family with a job working at Borders part-time, making $8.42 an hour. And this motherfucker dumps me because I won't put out on prom night. Oh, and the other part was he'd made a dumb comment, and granted, I should not have popped him. Okay, you know what? If they know how to use it, then that's all that matters. But also, they don't need to be inside of you to make it the best sex of your life. Ew. Sorry, I'm answering comments as I'm telling the story. But he made some dumb comment, and I just kind of like popped him in the back of the head. And he turned and slammed me. We were sitting in the backseat of a truck, and he slammed me against the door with his forearm across my throat and was like, "Don't ever fucking hit me again." And I just remember being like, the fuck is happening here? But honestly, his best friend ended up being like a really good dude and was like the perfect guy to have as my first. And he was just like, I don't know. I'm not mad about how I lost things. You know, the next couple of years were a little... I enjoyed my hoe phase. And I got things out of my system. And now I have no regrets. And that was, you know, one of the things that Kat said was like, she did feel like she hadn't sowed enough wild oats, but... Oh, I didn't know that. That's so sweet, Abby. I didn't know Kyle was your... Look at you. But also, look, and I say this as somebody who is very firmly no longer Catholic and possibly not even Christian religious. I don't know. I waffle between agnostic, deism, and atheism and whatever. I was always told my husband would be the perfect fit. I enjoyed the hunt. And I found it. So, with that, let's keep listening to the dead of time. God, I can't believe I'm going to put this on the intro. I can never run for fucking political office. That's already kind of a given with the podcast, but that is now official. Because one of my friends was like, "No, but seriously, you should, like, you like public speaking. You should." And I'm like, look, I sent too many inappropriate photos in my early 20s, and frankly, when I was 17 and 18, was not a small. And like, am I afraid of them getting out? No, because I didn't send any that I didn't look fucking incredible in. Like, please, it would get me more votes. But the thought of my husband, child, and parents seeing that is a little uncomfortable. Especially because my sister is still convinced that I'm a virgin and my child was conceived via immaculate conception. Which I can, like, kind of use for her because my nephew was IVF. So, like, anyway, the dead of time. Yeah, I did say wouldn't say something in case I wanted to run, but now if I ever get a job, I'm in trouble because I will lose my disability. So I literally can't work ever again. And also, anytime I get really stressed, I start having like 20 to 30 seizures a day. And that doesn't really jive with, being in political office. But I might get, more involved with like the volunteering stuff because shit's got to change.
Found us to begin with. Ron pulled out the Deluminator.
Deluminator.
With this. Ooh, 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 I'm excited. You know why? March 27th, 1998.
Yeah.
My birthday, bitch.
My 7th birthday.
Oh, good time. Back when...
Good times. I think that was actually the year I did the Harry Potter birthday party. My mom made a sorting hat piñata.
Shut up.
We had instead of carrying eggs and spoons and trying to race them, we had little ping pong balls that we spray painted gold for snitches.
Yeah, we did.
And Mom made a Harry Potter cake with one corner with
no icing for Diana Bacco.
Okay, then.
March 27th.
That was every cake my mother ever made had one empty corner for Diana, who is now an Imagineer at Disney. Like, go off,
Sirius
girl.
helped considerably with the locations, as he had spent a year on the run with Buckbeak before Voldemort's return.
Okay.
It took several weeks of constant apologizing, but Ron mended his friendships with Harry and Hermione, though the latter kept him at arm's length, spending most of her time researching with Harry or training with Sirius, expanding her skill at wandless magic. Ron had also provided them with more than just the sword of Godric Gryffindor. Apparently, during his escape from the campsite many months before, he had been picked up by a group of snatchers and was able to disarm one of them, thus furnishing Harry with a used wand. Sirius declined to take it for himself, asserting that whatever magic he needed, he could do wandlessly, though it was admittedly less powerful.
How can you do wandless magic?
Well, you have to think that the magic is inside of them,
with your
because
hands,
Harry was able to make the glass at the zoo disappear at 10 years old.
Max, I swear to God, if you come in here with your ear infection bullshit and just keep ear flapping.
Then why do you even need a wand?
But conduit.
Oh, okay.
Think about it. A fire is hot. If you pump heat through pipes, well, now it spreads.
That was a bad example.
Yeah.
But
okay.
That was a terrible example.
It made no difference, however, when towards the end of March, one of their group accidentally set off the taboo on Voldemort's name, and a large group of snatchers surrounded and disarmed them. Hermione had been smart enough to throw a stinging hex at Harry's face, thus
I do love how
obscuring
quickly
his
we just kind of
well-known
skate through all of this.
Sirius was too easily recognized, so he shifted into Padfoot before anyone caught sight of him. Hopes of escaping were put to rest due to the fact that he could not possibly leave any of them behind, especially Harry and Hermione. So, while the Snatchers bound the two young wizards
the sniper is in my ex, and then yes, Kelly McGillis was in top. She's Charlie.
Scabior, this ain't a
and her daughter
is
actually Stone Key West, and her daughter Kelsey is not in Key West, but is a mom.
Then bring it along.
She and her wife, I think,
we'll
have
figure
twins.
it out at the manor. Scabior responded, grinning as he held up a copy of the Daily Prophet.
I'm pretty sure Kelly McGillis is just living out her best life as a
Hermione
grandma
Granger,
now.
It read,
because I want to say
known to be
Sonora's got
traveling with Harry Potter.
2 kids?
The second look at Harry, swollen face or not, and Scabior looked like he had just struck gold. The group disapparated into the darkness, and when they reappeared, Sirius grimaced at the all-too-familiar sight of Malfoy Manor.
Oh wait, no, that's not the same as
the last time he had been there for Lucius and Narcissus outing, something he had not even been invited to. Oh.
Who knows?
The last time he had been there
was he
had been for Lucius and Narcissus.
Cute.
A loveless and dangerous marriage
very
arrangement.
useful.
As usual,
I actually still use his lessons when I shoot.
Sirius thrown from the premises.
Number one being
now,
shift your entire body, not
in
just
the
your
shape
arms.
of a black dog, tied and thrown over the shoulder of the very same werewolf who had infected his best friend. One of the snatchers strode to the gates and shook them. How do we get in? They're locked, Greyback. He whipped his hand away in fright. The iron was contorting, twisting itself out of its abstract curls and coils into a frightening face that spoke in a clanging, echoing voice. State your purpose.
You sound like Creature when you say that.
Listen here,
You might as
bitch.
well just go for the Wazowski. You didn't file your paperwork last night.
You want to go to Fantasy Fest with me?
Purpose. We've got Potter. Greyback roared triumphantly. We've captured Harry Potter. I don't remember what accent I did the first time. I'm sorry, guys. There's no continuity there. The
Did I already do
swung
Greyback's
open.
voice?
Come on. Greyback ordered his men, shifting Padfoot against his shoulder.
Oh,
and
no.
shaking the tide
Yeah, no,
of
that's
their
definitely
spur
This Is Why We
roughly.
Drink.
The moment they entered the large manor, Sirius heard a familiar voice.
Yeah, no, that was not me.
Follow me, Narcissa directed, leading the way across the hall. My son Draco is home for the Easter holidays. If that boy really is Harry Potter, he will know. The drawing room dazzled after the darkness outside. A crystal chandelier dangled from the ceiling and portraits
She really
hung
did.
against dark purple
But also,
walls. Two figures rose from chairs in front of an ornate marble fireplace.
okay, first off, Fantasy Fest is currently going on, and I'm very sad that I am not in QS
What
for
is
it.
this?
I haven't been in QS for it since I think
The
2015.
dreadful, familiar,
But,
drawling voice of Lucius Malfoy fell on their ears. At the sound, Sirius let out a low,
there was somebody,
dangerous
and I can't
groan.
remember whose story. I want to say it
Take
was
that beast back
my
outside.
former brother-in-law, the first one.
I don't think it's
his
really
dad-
a dog.
This we're going to invite him to
I've
go
smelled this
to.
magic before.
Oh, such a good one.
Lucius eyed
Oh, I
him
would have had so
warily.
much fun with that.
Take him in the other room and
Oh,
force him to
I love
transform
Goombay,
back.
the food.
Greyback begrudgingly obeyed,
but,
taking Padfoot
yeah, there was this,
captured, where
like,
he threw him to the
You know,
floor with a
50-year
loud thud
smoker
and
woman who
cracked his
tried to
neck
invite
evenly, preparing to enjoy his
Sean's dad
interrogation.
to Fantasy Fest, and Kat and I would always quote her, "You want to go to Fantasy Fest with me? I promise to take my clothes off. I got a house in Summerland." That's not exactly what it was, but I feel like Kat probably does it in the pod somewhere. I hope, because would it bother? That's what it was. Would it bother you if I took my clothes off? So yeah, the voice came out a lot with that. It was so fucking bad. But
You idiot half-breed. Bellatrix used her wand to fling the werewolf.
actually, I'm
backward
really
with a large
bummed.
column.
Dan, Sean's dad, passed away a few years ago. He just had a freak heart attack while lawn mowing and drove the lawnmower into a pond. But it sounds like he passed away before he got into the water.
They're still bound.
But he was a good guy, and he was one of the ones who, like, during the whole divorce thing, like, he always checked in to make sure my sister was okay, and like, is there anything I could do? And he, you know, made sure to reach out every Christmas, and cracks me up. My sister did a like 2 truths and a lie thing. She's like, see if you can figure which one is which. I got a Christmas card from my current father-in-law saying that we made the last year tolerable for him.
She grinned and levitated Padfoot's body.
My son didn't get any Christmas presents from his grandparents on that side of the family. Or no, it was 3 truths and a lie. My son didn't get any presents from his grandparents on his dad's side. My former mother-in-law sent him a present, and me a present. And my husband bought me a brand new car, and it was like, well, we know which one's fake, but yeah, it was the former mother-in-law would send stuff, you know, obviously for her granddaughter, but like would send presents for my sister, would send presents for her half brother, who's not related to this woman in any way. Meanwhile, my mother sends siblings with her dad. She sends them have like matching pajamas for holidays and stuff, and I'm just like, that's what co-parenting and life after divorce is supposed to look like. Glares balefully at my sister's current in-laws.
Burned into the flesh of her arm and knew that she was about to touch it to summon her beloved master.
Anyway.
I was about to call him, Lucius claimed, and his hand.
See, I don't mind talking through the story because, well, let's be honest, that's not what we're here for.
Bella.
And
Potter has
sometimes
been
Kat would get
brought
really into the
home
story
when
and
therefore
just
it is upon my authority.
not
Your
comment.
authority, she sneered, attempting to wrench her hand away from his grasp. You lost your authority when you lost
Also,
your
this is
bond,
at
Lucius.
least this
How dare you?
possibly the
Take
second
your
time I've
hands
mentioned
off of
this
me.
on
She
this
stopped
episode.
struggling when her
But
dark eyes
yeah,
fixed
if you
upon
guys
something in the corner,
need
where the
audiobook
remaining
recommendations,
stood, presumably waiting for payment.
or even if you don't like
Jubilant
audiobooks,
expression on his face,
listen to
Lucius
Dungeon
threw
Crawler
her
Carl.
hand
The
down
book itself
from
is
him
good.
and
The
ripped
audiobook
up
is
his own
spectacular.
sleeve. Stop!
So good.
Bellatrix shrieked.
I'm obsessed. I'm gonna be Princess Donut for
Touch
Halloween.
it. We shall all perish if the Dark Lord comes now.
Don't touch it.
Lucius froze, his index finger hovering above his own mark. What is that? Bellatrix snapped. Sword. The snatcher grunted. Give it to me. It's not yours.
Not even.
It's mine.
It's definitely a catfish smoking a
Found
cigarette.
it. There was a bang and a
She
flash
was-
of red light. Scabior
Anyway.
drew his wand to a roar of anger from his fellows. What do you think you're playing at, woman? Expelliarmus! Stupefy! She screamed, disarming Scabior and
I did
stunning
not
the rest
give
of his
Bella a
men.
good
She
notice.
moved in on Scabior.
She's
and
not
threw it to the
unhinged
floor.
enough.
Where did you find this sword? Snape sent it to my vault in Gringotts. It was in their tent, Scabior rasped. Draco, move this scum outside, Bellatrix ordered, indicating the unconscious men. If you haven't got the guts to finish them, then leave them in the courtyard for me. Damn, she don't kill him.
You know,
I was about to say, dang, this bitch crazy, and then I make similar comments in the pod. That really does entertain me. Wait, what? Shit.
You could be a one-woman show and just...
Courtyard for me. Ooh, damn, she don't kill him.
You know, if this job doesn't work out, you should just move back to Florida and do sketches in Harry Potter world. You could be a
Fun fact,
one-woman
the job
show
didn't
and
work
just
out.
do all the voices.
Okay, what happened to your voices are so bad?
Dollar General.
Well,
What kind of
dead
name is
ass.
Bellatrix
I think it
voice?
was
I don't know where it came from.
they are
$3.
bad, but that was good.
Thank you. I'm trying. I think it's the southern accents. They help.
Bless your heart.
Look, I've talked up Dollar General during COVID because where could we find toilet paper? Motherfucking Dollar General, because
You don't say
people are
that
too
unless-
good to shop at the General.
We're-
And now I have one quite literally 90
not
seconds from
there.
my house, and
Uh,
I go in there once a month. I grab 2 boxes of Oreos, and
Don't you
they just smile and
speak
don't
to
make a comment.
Draco
And
like Narcissa began
it's awesome.
furiously. Bellatrix screamed.
it's also been dope for like
Quiet.
just random
The
things you
situation is
need,
graver
like
than you can
milk,
possibly
or
imagine, Sissy.
eggs,
We have
or
very serious
ruler.
problem.
Serious problem.
Problems. Serious. She stood, panting slightly, looking down at the sword, examining its hilt. Then she turned to look at the silent prisoners. Put them in the cellar while I think of what to do. Take them down, Wormtail. At the mention of his name, Padfoot growled and barked viciously, thrashing in the air as he tried to break free of his bindings, struggling to reach just an inch of flesh so he could tear it from the body of the traitorous rat. Wait! Bellatrix ordered sharply.
Yep.
All except for the mudblood and Sirius.
Sorry, dude. I think it
She
was part
gestured
of their
first to
summer
Hermione,
collection. It was
and
their
then
summer
to him.
collection was good this year.
Keep the
They also had
blood
a
traitor
Dolly
away from
Parton collection that
Potter.
was great.
She
And then I
directed.
broke my
Figuring
spoon
that keeping the
rest.
two separate would
Ooh,
cause
shit.
them
I have to
the
go
most
pick up
pain.
my new spoon rest today.
Wormtail
It's been
ushered
sitting at the
prisoners to
paint-a-pot
cellar,
place for
flinching
fucking
when Padfoot
ever.
barked viciously at him. Hermione cowered against a nearby pillar as Bellatrix
Also,
descended upon her.
I mentioned
wand raised.
earlier I'm currently
Where
coming off
did
of
you
my,
get
well,
that
as soon as I get
sword?
the lower dose, I'll be
She
coming
asked
off
the
of my
girl with
current
a menacing look
antidepressant
in her
because
eyes.
I realized
Before Hermione could
I
answer the
have been on
question, Padfoot began
antidepressants basically
kicking in
nonstop.
midair,
No, not
paws
basically.
lashing
I've been on
out against the
antidepressants
restraints,
nonstop
barking
since I was at my
madly,
absolute
growling as loudly
worst
as
at the end
possible.
of
His
2023
barks echoed off the marble floors and
when
walls, nearly
my
drowning out the
seizures were
screams of
like really
Hermione's
bad and I
name that
couldn't
came from the
drive and
cellar.
I had to quit my job and all that
Shut
kind of
up,
crap.
blood traitor.
I don't know what
Bellatrix
my fucking
snapped.
baseline is
Sissa,
anymore.
take him to the other room while I
And
deal
like,
with this girl. Can't
if
give
I
an
still get
answer
really
after
stressed
him
out,
taking
my
all that
body's
racket.
first like instinct
Bella,
is to
the
just start
girl,
seizing and be
Narcissa,
stupid.
go.
So like,
Lucius
I
rolled
am
his
not
way,
by
his
any
eyes
means
narrowed.
cured, but
Draco, go with
the
your
good news
mother.
is reducing the
Draco
amount of
huffed,
stress in my
picked up
life
his mother's
has
hand in
made
his, swept into the
um
next room, flicking his wand upwards and levitating.
no,
Padfoot
I got
to
it
follow.
this summer. So they
Once
may
the
have it
door
in
to
the
drawing
clearance
room
section.
closed behind them, Sirius
But
shifted into his human form, still tightly bound.
yeah,
He looked
so
up into his cousin's
I don't
blue eyes,
know. I
into
went on
the gray
antidepressants
ones,
when everything
like
was
his
like
own,
real
of her
bad.
son.
So I may be able to function without them now. Who knows? But I did just do the genetic test to see which ones work best for me. We're not going to start anything until I'm completely off of this one and I have some drug-free time.
Just like Lucius, right?
But
Pale hair, pale face. The only difference is Draco has gray eyes, which runs in the Black family. Sirius has gray eyes. I think Regulus did too.
Yeah, so I'm genetic
Yeah,
test
Lucius is done,
says,
but he's also
and my doctor is the fucking
flashback to a
best.
few episodes ago.
And
The
just
three sisters,
he was
Bellatrix,
like, heck yeah,
Narcissa,
sounds like
and
a good
Andromeda.
idea. You know, do what you
They're
need to do.
all
Keep me
blacks
updated.
by
If you
birth.
feel like you need to slow down or
So
speed up, that's
Narcissa
up
is
to
Sirius's
you.
cousin,
Just,
first
keep me
cousin.
posted on what you're doing, and if anything's weird, let me know. And if you need, and he literally said, if you need to take a 3-day trip to one of our hospitals, you just let me know. And I'm like, listen, motherfucker, don't tempt me. Like, I can't do that. My husband goes to work too early to drop the kid off at daycare. Like, do not fucking tempt me to take a 3-day holiday. Like,
Sirius, please be quiet.
but
She turned away from him. You
I
don't
I
know
love
how
that he was
dangerous
like, yeah,
this
if you
is.
need
What
a
you've
couple
brought
days at
to
the
my
hospital, you
house.
just let me know. And I'm
What I've
like,
brought.
okay, thanks,
Sissa,
bud.
you brought your head start
What a
well. You know
wild thing to
Bella, you know
offer
what she's going
people.
to do, and you're just going to let her. But his sentence was cut off by Hermione's screams. Sirius's eyes widened, and he let himself pale as the blood drained from his face in rage and fear. No, Hermione. Sissa, she's torturing her. I know. Narcissa whispered. Let
Listen
me
here,
go,
bitch.
Sirius shouted. Sissa, in your life, do the right thing. She looked at her cousin with tears in her eyes. I can't, Sirius. We're dead if I let you go. You're dead already, Sirius countered. You're trapped under the heel of a dictator, your husband is wandless, and your son has been sacrificed. He eyed the boy who turned away.
Actually, I asked to come off of them because I don't want to be on Effexor anymore. Like, I ran out of it, and it, like, the first day was, kind of weird. The second day, by the time I hit 48 hours, I was not feeling good. And by the time I hit 50 to 52 hours, I was basically catatonic on the bed, and then occasionally like vomiting like crazy, and then catatonic again. My husband was like, can you come out to the truck and get your nope? Okay. And so he came upstairs and literally like got one out, put the water in my hand, sat me up so I could take it. And then like an hour later I was fine. But I was like, maybe this is not, and I'm on the second lowest dosage. But also when you come off of Effexor, there's a decent chance that you'll like have a full psychotic break. So yeah. I'm very excited to get off of Effexor, and if I even need antidepressants anymore.
Sirius gave her a dangerous look that said he was at the end of what little patience
Oh,
he had.
thank you.
Let him go.
You didn't have to do. When I said that's not what I.
Set loose the bindings that
Thank you.
Sirius. Cousin, please, can you save us?
Yeah, Abby's mom is a fucking badass, and I also want to know how she's doing because, not gonna lie, kind of scared the shit out of me when you were telling me what was going on, because life should not be that hard for that woman. Miss Sue is a fucking saint amongst women and was like the mom for sleepovers.
As he saw Hermione lying on the ground, tears streaming from her eyes.
I also just have very vivid memories of eating
carved into her otherwise perfect flesh.
Love
No,
you.
he thought. Not
I have
this,
very vivid
not
memories of
here,
eating
not now.
Publix chicken strips
Fury fueled him as he crept
in the
forward
back
in
seat of
silent
God. What was
frenzy.
the green car?
At
That
the
wasn't a
last
Crown
second,
Vic,
he
was
let out a
it?
soft growl and watched
What
as
was that
Bellatrix
thing?
turned to
It
see
was a
his
green
dark
car and it
frame.
had like a
Patrick
canvas
launched himself
roof, but it
forward,
wasn't a
landing on
like you
Hermione,
couldn't
pinning her to
retract
the
it.
ground and knocking her wand
God,
from
that
her
was such a
hand.
good car.
She actually looked afraid. For
Also, I
a
was thinking
split
about Mama
second,
and Pop
he
Pup's
imagined how wonderful
van
it
the
would
other
be.
day. It was one of those like really fancy ones that had like little curtains in the back.
But then Remus's words to Harry months earlier echoed in his mind.
The Grand Marquis, that's what it was.
Is past. And so was the time for mercy. One glance to the side where Hermione's still body was sprawled on the floor sent him teetering over the edge. He turned and bared his sharp teeth at his cousin, opened his jaws wide enough to sink his wicked fangs into the flesh of her neck. Bellatrix tried to scream, but the sound died as Padfoot tightened his grip on her throat and violently
The
tore
Winnebago. Oh my, was that a
tearing
Winnebago?
her body.
I thought they only made like RVs, but that thing was like, I'm not crazy though. That's
And a sharp pain racked his entire body. Padfoot fell to the ground, whimpering as the sensation of 1,000 knives carved into his flesh. Looking up, he saw Lucius Malfoy staring down at him with scorn.
I really wish we'd
Hermione's
had the
stolen
drugs we
wand
have
in
now
hand
when your
and a
mom
hint of
first started
joy in
getting
his
sick,
face
because
at
I
the position he
really
was in now.
would like to
Padfoot
believe that she
snarled
wouldn't have had to go through this hell so many
boogers and
fucking
his gaze met
times.
Lucius's. He recalled a time long ago when the same Death Eater had a wand trained on him, just like this.
Is your mom still
Small
sleeping
scar
in the
to the
same
left of
bed
Lucius's nose was a
in
reminder
the
of how
living
that
room that
last
you had
encounter had
in
ended.
the trailer when you guys were in
Narcissa,
Tamarack?
I think it's time for you to reaffirm your loyalties and vows, my love, Lucius said coldly. Your blood-traitor cousin just murdered your sister. Well, there is no love lost between myself and Bellatrix. The Dark Lord will not be pleased. Bella.
I loved that bed.
Narcissa
It was the
whispered,
best because it had like the
handing over
rounded
her
posts, so even if you hit your head on it, you weren't going to get cut. Why don't they make furniture like that anymore? Why is everything so sharp? Like, my kid has almost cracked his head open so many goddamn times.
Lucius ordered his wife.
Also, why did I just start thinking
Narcissa
of
shook her head
proactive?
defiantly. Lucius,
You were such a hardcore proactive girly for a
or I will
while.
make you do it. No, Narcissa stood firm. You've been using the Imperials.
Oh, Abby, you missed. Actually, all of you guys missed this. This would have been a podcast. So, last year was the year of like absolute shit with health stuff. Was it last year? Earlier this year or last year, something like that. Anyway, my mother had she didn't feel good and she went to the doctor and she had diverticulitis. Oh my god. Okay, y'all need to appreciate how beat to hell that bed is, but I have such fond memories of playing Barbies on that bed. Yeah, the things you remember. Crazy. But yeah, so my mom had diverticulitis, which is unpleasant. She had to be out of school for a while. She's a teacher. And then
What a chapter, am I right?
oh my god, is the chapter already over? Shit, I've been on here for 3 hours.
I was actually really
Hey,
excited for
nerds.
this one just because it's like all the other chapters, it's kind of been okay.
All right, hold on. I'm going to pause it because
to
it's going to be
happen,
just
and
us talking and I don't want to miss anything she says. But my mom went to the doctor and yeah, that doesn't surprise me. And then I got Kat and you on Mario Badescu for a while. I'm still a hardcore Mario Badescu girly. Actually just did all my skincare last night. My face is so soft. Anyway, my mom, diverticulitis, right. So they were like, if you pop a fever, come on back. She was like, okay. Well, she started feeling better and then she popped a fever. So she went back to the ER and she was like, popped a fever, you guys have to come back. Well, she tested positive for COVID, but while they were waiting for that test to process, they did a CT to see how the diverticulitis was doing. And thing about radiologists is they will look for whatever the doctor is looking for, but they're going to look at the entire scan. So if like the doctor's only curious about the colon, but you can see the colon and the liver, they're also going to look at the liver. Well, because of the size of whatever scan this was, he noticed something on the very bottom part of her lung. And he was like, we're going to do another one of these. So they did. He found a pulmonary embolism, which you usually don't find until they're like in the bloodstream actively killing you. And they were able to treat it. And she's totally fine. But holy shit. Yeah, pulmonary embolism. So like a blood clot in her lungs. That shit was fucking bananas. And they think it was from the COVID, which is crazy because she'd only been sick for like 3 days, which would have been really fast for it to throw a clot. But like maybe she was sick for a while before it like started showing symptoms. But yeah, that shit was bananas. But yeah, so, and then my dad is very good about getting his skin checked. Well, yeah, terrifying, but like everybody in the my sister was like, oh my God. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is the hand of fucking God coming down and going, you're going to survive this because you don't find pulmonary before they're killing you. Like, you just don't. And they did. And she was totally fine. They were able to like treat everything. She's good, but like, what the fuck? Um, and then my dad, he's had like 5 skin cancers removed. Like there was one on the back of his leg that happened like really long time ago. And then he had like, one here, one there. And like my dad went tanning on the beaches of Spain in the 60s and 70s with baby oil. Oh, hell no. No, 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 no. Parents who tell their kids afterwards, fuck that, no. Because if something goes wrong, the kid doesn't have any time to prepare themselves. One of my friends found out that her dad had been sick for like decades. Decades. The man had cirrhosis from the time she was like 3 and then developed liver cancer. Never told her why the family moved to the triangle of medical research in North Carolina. And then she didn't know anything until he was getting medevaced out of a foreign fucking country because he collapsed and was in a coma because his liver cancer was killing him. And that was how she found out her dad had cancer. It was like, and then she got to spend, God, I think he was in fucking hospice for 1.5 years. Like, it was a very, very long, very expensive process. And like towards the end, like he didn't, but yeah, exactly. Like my dad, shit, I think Abby may have been spending the night that night. My dad told me that they had found a shadow on a lung x-ray. And he was like, could be cancer, might not be. They're going to do another check. And they did. And it was fine. And it was nothing. That wasn't lung cancer. But even before he had a diagnosis, he told us that it was a possibility. And I'm like, that's the way I want to parent. So like my kid, he knows that I noodle. That's what he calls my seizures. It's actually really cute. He's like, Mom's a little wonky. She was noodling. Although the little shit the other day got in trouble, motherfucker pretended that he was seizing like mommy. Just laying underneath the dining room table, not moving, not talking. And like, I picked him up. I'm like, bud, come on, we got to get ready for dinner. And he was just like, and he wouldn't look at me. And then I was like, come on. And I'd tickle him and he'd giggle, but he wouldn't talk. Actually, this was last fucking night. It's because he got stung on the finger by a bee. And he was like really upset and in pain, which like, I get. But finally, we're like, you have to get ready for bed. Let's stand up. And so we picked him up and we went to stand him up and he just kind of like fell to the floor and was literally doing what I do where like none of my limbs move. I don't really catch like I go kind of slow, but I just land. And and so we're like, you just take some time in your room and you just have some quiet time. And when you're ready to talk to us, let's talk. And then he came out and he was like, I was just feeling a little wonky. Like, mommy. And I'm like, listen here, you little shit. Mine aren't by choice. No, God, no, I don't have fucking 2. Are you kidding me? Fuck no. I will be yeeting my tube soon. I did not want James to be an only child. The thought of him being an only child breaks my heart. I already had my daughter's name picked out. Her name was going to be Caroline Grace. I am devastated that Caroline Grace Fierro is not going to exist. I even had a fucking tarot card reader tell me that my next one was going to be a girl. But the negative impact my pregnancy had on my mental health, my ADHD, my functional neurological disorder, there is a general consensus that if I went through it again, it would all get worse. And that is not something we are willing to risk because it's already pretty bad. And then Jimmy would be a single father to 2 children and a completely disabled wife. And that's not an option because some people with FND like can't walk and are wheelchair bound. And that's terrifying. And luckily I have a new doctor now because my old doctor was like, well, it'll eventually probably reach that point. And I'm like, my new doctor is like, those are very rare situations. There's like 1,000 documented cases. I don't see that happening for you. He's like, you are improving. Like, you are not having as many. But we cannot take that for granted because if you try to push yourself, you're going to slide backwards and get worse. And it was like, so, okay, you also have a reason, like, luckily now, with all my health shit, people don't question it anymore. Because there was a lot of like, oh, don't do that to James. And I'm like, I don't want to. But I have no choice. because I can't parent. Like, if he gets a sibling, he loses a mom. And yeah, I know, like, y'all's situation scared the bejesus out of me because it was sorry, I don't want to, I think I know which gene you both had. But yeah, it's, no. No, you're good. That wasn't like an upset, that was a squirrel. Also, I am chronically alone, so having people to talk to and not having you guys be able to talk over me and force me to shut the fuck up is dangerous. Ooh, hey, we got the numbers in for this week. 1,482 downloads. What the fuck are you guys? How are you listening to it this much? Nothing has happened. Anyway, all right, we've got 15 minutes left of this episode, so I'm gonna hit play.
Back so that he can be involved in the story. But this one, I feel like is like it goes through.
Which episode is this?
Damn near all of like an entire half 7 in an episode.
Okay, this is 1.8. I was warned about 110.
So you're getting a lot of stuff, but like seeing those scenes that are so classic from the movie and the books, you know, Hermione getting tortured. So actually, she has mudblood carved
She does
into her
not.
arm. She's just tortured.
Just.
But to have that paradigm shift of it's not her, you know, suffering and them waiting for Dobby to come and let them out, and then Harry and Ron stopping it and Dobby helping to stop it.
Yeah,
It's serious.
that's part of why I'm
killing Bellatrix by turning into a
not
dog and ripping
glad,
out her throat.
but like
And then Lucius Malfoy
grateful
getting
for the
killed
fact
by
that we
his
have
son, and his wife saying that she's been under the Imperius
our
for 20
friend
years,
who
and like
tragically lost her husband in a Black Hawk crash a few years ago. After that happened, I was like, Jimmy's our husband now. And we fully embrace that. Like, if she needs something around the house done, or like if her car is making a weird noise, or when she needed to buy a new car, or when she needs to like negotiate things, or just has questions about like when she needed to buy a new lawnmower, she just,
in that chapter,
my husband's there for her. And
what's gonna happen
when her kids are being shits and she needs a break, or like on the anniversaries or their wedding anniversary,
hard not to emphasize it, because
we'll go over there and we'll make dinner for them, and so she can just process and grieve and do what she needs to do. But we're over there enough that her kids are like James's siblings at this point. I won't use their real names, but we nicknamed them. She's got a boy and 2 girls. A boy we call Deb, and the girls are Dave and Carl. And the friend is Earl. So actually, I'll just use this. But yeah, no, Earl's great, and I love her dearly. But Deb cracks me up because Deb is a teenager.
Back into the drawing room. Padfoot flinched at the smell of blood invading his nostrils, and his eyes widened as he saw Hermione lying on the ground. Tears streaming from her eyes, her arm extended,
listening a little bit to the pod.
By the familiar scars carved into her otherwise perfect flesh.
Familiar scars.
Since when does she have scars?
If you remember in the movie, Bellatrix carves the word mudblood into her arm.
How are they familiar if they're just brand new?
But,
anyway,
and how is this supposed to help me?
Her arm extended and marred
but anyway,
by familiar scars carved into her otherwise.
But yeah, so Deb does not like people using nicknames for him.
They were carved into her
and
skin 30 seconds ago. How does he know what they look like?
You know, just comments made, whatever. Fuck. Oh, I cannot do this with the podcast on. Anyway, he made a comment about how he doesn't like people shortening his name. He doesn't like nicknames. Or somebody, his sister called him like sugar tits or something. And he was like, don't call me other names. And then I was like, oh, really, Deb? And he goes, that's the only exception. And he cracks me up too, because James, we're like, James, go get, using his real name. And he'll go to the stairs and he'll go, Deb! Deborah!
I'm a muggle. I struggle.
The muggle struggle is
and
real.
it's so precious because he's this 13-year-old boy.
Y'all gotta just remember that I'm not very observant.
I am U.S. Central, so it is 12:26.
Also, this is my first time hearing all of this, so.
But also, I feel bad because I don't think James will be as close to my sister's kids, simply because they live in Chicago, and I was really hoping to convince my sister to move closer,
It's
and
not unagi.
No
what kills me
offense,
is
but
I sent her a
I
text
didn't
message about
know.
this summer
Fucks.
before
She
she
missed to
got
say
divorced
Correct.
or filed for divorce, and I was like,
That
y'all need to
being said,
leave
though,
Illinois because I'm worried if you don't, his family's going to be the
Now
reason
I'm
you get
thinking of
divorced.
which,
And sure enough,
Jennifer Lopez.
She
She
has
has
not
not
aged
aged
in,
a
like-
day in
well,
her
I mean,
life.
she
Like,
basically stopped aging at like
the
20.
way we so often
No, 'cause
just
she,
like
matured,
said this
like, a fine
same
wine at
shit.
30, and then she just stayed there. She hasn't changed. It's not fair.
But yeah, no, Maggie's awesome, and like I want James to be
okay,
closer
another
to
random
Fair,
thought.
but
What is the purpose of bath salts? And I'm not talking about the drug. I'm talking about put in the bath, because all they do is sink to the bottom and they scrape your butt, and it's like you're taking a bath in the bottom of the ocean because it feels like sand. Like, bubble bath, people. Bubble bath is better. Stop cutting your butts.
Okay, number one, I don't know that I've used bath salts since like the 90s. Maybe early 2000s.
oh god, remember those horrible little
Number
oil
two,
balls that we would throw in the bathtub, and they
wild
smelled great
dirt.
and your skin felt great, but then you almost died getting out of the bathtub because you would slip all over the place. Those are good. Those are great.
I don't want to sit in a hot bath and have my butt get up and all my lady bits by bath salt because they stick to the bottom.
You
and
know,
don't
there's
do
actually a
anything.
way to avoid that. Bubble bath. Or bath bombs.
Yeah, that was really satisfying. How
Yeah,
well, and I think that was also Hannah Beth a bit,
Okay, so
but
that was
no, I will
random
say
topics
the
by
one nice
chat.
thing about James with
And
Cousins
moving forward,
is
I would like to announce the most exciting thing that has occurred to me currently, which is the fact that it is episode 8, which means we are officially over the hurdle. Season 1 has 14 chapters, because that's how many chapters are in book 1. So we're officially on the downhill slide towards the end of book 1 and season 1. Look at us.
I don't know why I started doing the chicka,
Anything
but I
else going
also
on?
think I quit doing it at one point.
If I'm not mistaken, this
but,
should be
yeah,
for Veterans
so
Day.
I got pregnant and had
If
James
any
in
veterans
June.
who
My
listen to
sister-in-law,
this,
Jimmy's
we
oldest
appreciate
sister,
you.
had her
You're
baby in
wonderful.
July, baby boy.
If you
My
didn't
sister had
vote
her
last
boy in
Tuesday,
December,
I
and
won't
Jimmy's
shame
middle
you
sister
because
had
you
her
may not
boy
be
that
American.
way.
And I won't shame you if you are an American, because you know what, some people just don't want to vote.
And then I found out that my cousin, second cousin, who lives in Clarksville, his son was born the day before James's first birthday. And so James has 4 cousins now, all within a year of him. Tyler, I see you sending me stuff on TikTok. I'm going to leave here and I'm going to go listen to it.
19 reviews, and I'm so excited.
19 reviews. Then the number went up a lot higher.
And I looked, and somebody gave us a 1-star rating. How dare
No, suspected spam.
they? And they didn't even have the audacity to leave a review. They just rated us. So we don't even know why it was a 1-star, which is honestly the most infuriating part of this.
Dude, when we started reading the reviews, and I was like, fuck all of you. We don't care about your thoughts. And then later on, we were like, maybe we should. Maybe there are things we could improve.
From the same teacher.
Akio slugs in their mouth.
Akio slugs in their mouth.
Whatever.
Well, no. I wasn't, like, I was talking out loud and thinking I wasn't trying to correct you, but also now I'm correcting you. It was eat slugs. Did you know that the slugs were actually, like, flavored? Like, they had, like, minty ones and, like, orange-flavored ones.
The fact that they did
there was
minty
coffee
and orange
flavored
just
one
seems
and
evil, though.
chocolate-flavored one. I don't know how I feel about eating chocolate slime.
Did you know that there's a whole fan fiction site dedicated to actually putting Daniel Radcliffe in fan fiction, not Harry Potter, his character, but himself, Daniel?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I actually watched it on a Graham Norton video.
I
I'm
love
obsessed with
Graham Norton.
She got me into Graham Norton.
He is one of the people that got me through my struggles this year, because all I would do before I went to bed so I didn't cry all the time was watch Graham Norton. I have seen every episode of Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts with James Corden. So,
Jesus.
Have you seen the episode where Benedict Cumberbatch
Penguin.
the word penguin?
yes.
Penguin.
Penguin.
If y'all haven't watched that, look it up on YouTube. Graham Norton, Benedict Cumberbatch. also known as Bandersnatch Cummerbund, Bimini Cucumber, whatever you want to call him. He's a beautiful man. I love him.
Yeah, actually, James Corden just played Spill Your Guts with Arnold Schwarzenegger recently, and like James is sitting there, he was in front of him, and Arnold's like, do it now, eat it.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Now I have to.
And I'm just like, oh my god, that is the best.
Also,
Nobody cares about what we're talking about.
Nobody cares about what we're talking about. The irony being, now we do care a lot because
be like, I'm gonna snip that and then snip that. And also, one of my friends just drunk texted me and said, "quote Well, I'm shit faced and I'm on Patreon. Send me a link." So I think we're getting another donor, kids.
that's Blaze,
Brings us to our standard.
who I believe is actually still a supporter to this day.
Hairs on the back of your ankle because when you shave, it's really hard to get them.
Hannah Beth, you can leave that part in.
The irony being, I now have a tattoo for her on the back of my ankle.
People are gonna have to buy some fire whiskey.
Every time Kat overshares, drink. Every time Kat talks about something involving hygiene, lady, and shaving, drink. Oh, and
it was totally Ludo.
No, we can't say that. It's Potterless. We can say it because we're crediting Potterless, but it's Potterless's thing.
I will say though, one of my proudest moments was getting the host of Potterless on our podcast. Although I can't, she did that. But
go as for Halloween, go as Ludo Bagman because no one knows what he looks like anyway because they cut him out of the movie.
But
You do. Oh.
Yeah, Kat was the reason we got Shoobs on the pod, but I'm really glad we managed to do that because she loved him.
We may or may not be creating patron-specific decals because we've been promising our Fox level supporters that we would find you.
She did. I felt so bad because I was like, Kat, shut the fuck up. Kat, shut the fuck up. Kat, shut the fuck up. I know you're so excited. You're going to ruin the show for him. Oh my God. It was so bad. We're all just sitting there like a car crash in slow motion. Like, please stop ruining the show for this poor man. Oh, I felt so bad.
Specific decal, and I know it's another decal,
Oops.
and I feel like that's redundant.
Sorry,
It's really
Shoobs.
fun, and you get to put them on things, and these are only available.
At least it means she was probably memorable.
It has the name of the podcast on it, and it also says that you are a producer. So it's super legit.
I still have a bunch of those stickers.
Better send my package to me tomorrow because I am looking forward to it.
Yes, I will, because the other exciting thing is if you go to TeePublic, that is TEE public.com, we now have t-shirts available for sale. I believe we also have some other selections of things. I think we might have magnets.
I like how I say we might, as if I wasn't the one setting up that entire page.
So for those of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere, long sleeve shirts because it's cold as balls. For those of us who listen in Australia, cough cough besties, you can get our short sleeve shirts and our tank tops. It's
like I said, those of you in Alaska, we did, or Australia, we didn't ship to Australia.
It just comes in purple. It comes in whatever colors I selected that I thought went well with the logo. Well, bam. And if you buy them, you're not only supporting us, you're also supporting you're also supporting a small business artist who's, I won't say they're struggling to get by, but this is for them to make money off of their art. And for those of you who like art or do art, you know how hard that is. So by supporting us at TeePublic,
says the person who now,
supporting small business
this is how I spend my life.
And it's a good thing all around. And they're super cute. TeePublic. All you have to do is search for Firewhisky and Honey, and we will pop right on up. Also, we will be posting that link on our Instagram link tree. So if you go to Instagram, we have discontinued the website because, gotta be honest, it was a pain in the ass to keep up. I couldn't figure out security certificates. So we get an IT person, or we're just gonna run off of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon. If you're an IT person and want to run a website, please let me know. I already bought the domain name.
We still have the website. Okay, so that, Alaska and Australia, that is actually a quirk of the FND.
special thank you to Shaylani.
Ah, God, hurts. So part of my FND is I will grab the wrong word when I'm trying to remember things. So if I'm trying to say, you know, I don't fucking know, pitcher, I might say picker, or witcher. It's based on like mouthfeel. So apocalypse may become polyps. It's just I can't, unless you're in my brain. I don't know that you understand. All right, so FND, functional neurological disorder, aka the umbrella term for all of the shit going on in my brain. So we knew that I had like memory issues. We knew that I had like a bit of a tremor sometimes, which actually has also mostly it back when I certain things, like especially if I'm trying like really hard to be like real steady, it'll come back. It's again gotten better, but as soon as I get stressed out, it's garbage. Anyway, I had headaches, migraines, two separate things. Occasionally word for my brain, memory issues, all that kind of stuff, and then worsening of my ADHD. And all of that was listed as post concussive syndrome through the VA. And then I started having panic attacks. Turns out later that they, when I described them, that's not a panic attack, that's a seizure. Well, we've done a multiple EEGs, including a 3-day EEG where I was not allowed to shower or do anything because I had all these fucking electrodes on my head. Still have the texture issue of getting that out of my hair is nightmarish. But anyway, we have proven conclusively, because I did have multiple seizures during the 3-day and the shorter EEG, I do not have epilepsy. I do not have random electrical shocks going across my brain causing me to seize, which we already kind of knew because during my seizures, if you try to poke me in the eye, my eye will close, which is a self-protective thing that does not happen during epilepsy. You can poke somebody with epilepsy right in the fucking eye and they won't even blink. They'll just keep going. And the fact that I am aware of what is going on during my seizures, like I am happening, a lot of times I'll be able to still control my eyes and be able to like look, sometimes, not all the time. I may be able to like blink to respond, or it may only be in like part of my body. But that is not epilepsy. That is called non-epileptic seizures or psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. They're trying to get rid of the psychogenic part because people are like, I don't want people to think I'm a psycho. Why is everybody here now that I've finished 3 fucking episodes? God damn it. Anyway, so the non-epileptiform seizures was my official diagnosis. And then somebody commented about functional neurological disorder. And functional neurological disorder is essentially, the name itself has only existed since 2017. I am perfectly comfortable. I talk about this extensively on my TikTok, and I've done interviews on with other people. I talk extensively about this all the time because the only way for people to stop calling them fucking pseudo seizures is to educate. But yeah, I discovered the term functional neurological disorder, started deep diving, and it covers the psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, but it also covers the memory loss, the headaches, the, wrong words coming out, mood swings, basically all this other kind of stuff. And it's not super well studied, but it seems to happen as a result of psychological trauma. And so and a lot of people, especially when I was looking at the non-epileptic seizure stuff, but now with FND, there seems to be like, there's mental trauma and then physical trauma. And when those two both happen, bad stuff happens. So like, I had the mental, physical, emotional trauma. And then a year later, I had the concussions. And I had 2 of them inside of a week. And within a few weeks of that, a month or so, I started having like staring out into space and then coming back. And it got progressively, like, I had my first panic attack after a year, and then my first big like seizure event and the more frequent seizures about a year after that. So like 2 years after the concussion, 3 years after the traumatic incident was when the symptoms started to show. But at the time I thought they were panic attacks. I was like, I can manage this. This is fine. And then as work stress added up, stress of COVID, stress of being a new mom, all that kind of stuff, it basically just grew and grew and grew and grew, and took functional neurological disorder from a mild inconvenience to this has officially ruined my life and I can't function anymore as a human. And that sucks. And like I said, I've got it fairly well under control now. Like, as far as I can tell, I've not, and of course, as soon as I said that, I just felt my cheeks start to like twitch a little bit. I've had a couple of like mini seizures in my legs during this, where like I'll just feel the muscle like kind of doing this thing, or like my foot will start shaking and I can't stop it. But again, that's my normal now, so I don't really think about it. But yeah, no, functional neurological disorder is incredibly under-researched, and the biggest problem with it is because the seizures are psychiatric. The way somebody described it was, you have a software problem, not a hardware problem. You can do an MRI, you can do a CT, you can do all this stuff. It's all going to come back completely normal. You will not see anything. Computer, okay, the computer looks fine. Put it back together, it still doesn't fucking work. Why? Because it's got a virus. And you can't, if the virus has infected everything else, even if you pull out the original infection document and you get rid of that, the infection is still there. And that's kind of what is going on in my brain. Is, we've gotten rid of that stress and it's gone. I'm not working anymore. Like, that level of stress is gone. I'm still a mom, but whatever. Yes, same thing. Soft tissue damage, where it's like, it hurts, but we can't tell why. But yeah, so that's sort of, one of the most annoying. Thank you. I feel like an idiot most days, so it doesn't help that like the first time I had to take an ambulance ride to the ER, as soon as we showed up to the ER, I was like, fuck, of course we're at my ER where I used to work, and I know most of the doctors here. Great. And I had another seizure, and it was a kind of short one, but just uncomfortable as I was coming in the door. And they wheel me over to where my room is, but it's not clean yet. So she just sits me in front of the nurse's station while we wait for the room to get cleaned up. And this nurse skips over, and she just looked like every nightmare girl I had in high school. And I was trying not to judge her on it because she was very, very pretty, really well done up, like all this other stuff. And I'm like, don't judge. I didn't recognize her from my time there. And turns out she had not worked there when I did. Keeping in mind that when I worked at the ER, my job was to create and figure out a way to distribute a patient satisfaction survey to determine why so many people disliked our, to identify the problem kids, doctors, and to rectify those situations. So and that was my biggest project while I was there. I spent a lot of time working with quality. I spent a lot of time working with HR. And hello, Maximus. And so I spent a lot of time working on the patient satisfaction part of that exact ER. And I was proud of what we did, because we actually started getting positive reviews on Google, and we did fire some people who frankly needed to be fucking fired. And, I thought we made a lot of really positive impact there. And then they were like, but you guys are too expensive. We're going to fire you. Hilarious, because the city of Clarksville just voted, after my former hospital fought very hard to get it denied, 2 hospitals from Nashville requested to build hospitals locally. 2 of them. Centennial and St. Thomas Ascension, both of which are incredible hospitals. Oh, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Oh, Maxie is. And both of them got approved, which was wild to me. I didn't think they were going to approve. I thought they'd approve one, not both. And then Canova tried to request to build another one, and they got turned down. Hilarious. Anyway, so I have a seizure. I skip over to, or the nurse skips over to me and looks at the paramedic and goes, "So what do we got?" And the paramedic, using the old terminology, says, she's having pseudos, had a couple big ones at home, just had another one in the hallway. And the nurse goes, "But did she?" And I looked at her, and keeping in mind, she's like max 3 feet away from me. I can hear her. I can see her. And I'm clearly not actively seizing. And I think she just assumed that anybody having pseudos is going to like pretend that they're out of it all the time, because for a long time, pseudos were assumed to be faked. And I just looked over at her and I was like, "I'm having seizures. I'm not deaf." And she looked horrified. And the greatest moment of my life was calling Quality and being like, "Hey, this is Claire Fierro. Do you remember me? I used to work with Dr. Edelman." And they're like, "Oh my God, it's so good to talk to you. How have you been?" And I'm like, "I have a story for you." She was the charge nurse. She got demoted. And now she is no longer a nurse there. And normally I wouldn't be really excited about that, except everyone else I talked to said that she had numerous employee complaints against her for being a raging bitch and playing favorites and screwing people over and throwing them under the bus, and not pulling her weight. But without a patient complaint, there is such a nursing shortage that getting her fired was a little rough. And everybody was like, "You just have to learn how to play nice with her." And yeah, so I did get a apology note from the CEO of the hospital. I got a phone call from the head of nursing for the emergency department, and they all had to go mandatory training on non-epileptiform seizures. And that was beautiful. And that is my legacy now at that hospital. But anyway, we did 3 fucking episodes today. I've been on here for 3.5 hours. My dog really has to pee, and I should probably eat something because I don't think I've eaten yet today, because the Vyvanse I'm on is used for treating binge disorder eating, which means I'm just basically never hungry. Which you would think would have made me lose a lot more weight than it has, but c'est la vie. Yes, I know that isn't mispronounced. I'm channeling a good friend of mine. Anyway, it has been wonderful hanging out with all of you. Thank you for how many of you were so active in the comments. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I can do more shit in lives, apparently. But yeah, it's good seeing you all. I will try to do another couple episodes this week. I'm really dreading 1.10 because, yeah, it's going to be rough. But anyway, it was so good seeing all of you. Trina, Tyler, Abby, Audrey, all of you that I've seen in here. Thank you so much for being here. It was really good talking to you guys. And I will have to manually put this to public after it finishes uploading. Somebody remind me in the Facebook group and I'll do it. All right, bye.